Welcome to episode 184 of the Reptile Gumbo podcast. If you're listening to this live, that's awesome. If you're listening to this recorded, you probably get 2 episodes this week because I forgot to put last week's episode out. So you'll get 2 this week. Enjoy.
Sorry, my phone was not on silent. I
apologize. We don't work in quality. We work in quantity.
Woo, woo.
Get 2.
This is what happens when you're tired and your kid does too much.
We are joined tonight by our friend Megan. Yeah, whatever her last name is. Robert is out sick, so Megan is with us.
No, I'm not laughing at Robert being sick. I'm laughing at the fact that
Katie.
I'm not. I realize that's what it sounded
Our
like.
friend is sick, and you just laughed at him.
No, you still don't know how to say her last name.
It's some.
Oh, I'm sure he knows how to say it. At this point, I think he's just doing it intentionally.
But I'll totally admit that I never use your last
name. It's Yabba Dabba Dubovich.
No.
I mean, to be fair, I am the only Megan Sebyakovich in Texas that I'm aware of.
Megan,
anyway,
I said Sebyakovich, and that's right. it though, right?
We said the same thing. So
your last name is similar to what a Atchafalaya in Louisiana used to be for me. I have to say it in my head before I can say it out loud to make sure that I have it right. Because when I look at Atchafalaya spelled, I'm like, this. I don't understand.
I don't know. For 3 years, I just haven't said it. So I still can't say it
before I say it.
I have a system down for spelling it that I've stuck to even after 10 years of marriage.
I had to learn my dad's last name in a rhythm.
Yeah.
His last name is Weissel. Everyone wants to say Weasel. It's Weissel. So I had to learn it in that rhythm so I could learn to spell my dad's last name. Again, that's my stepdad, so I don't have to say it's not like I have that last name. Yeah. I don't know how to spell my last name.
When he calls me and I'm in my car, it's like, Sam Weasel is calling. And Joe laughs every time. Okay, sorry. I got distracted.
All right, let's get our sponsor stuff out of the way while I eat my food.
If you are looking for a high-quality PVC rack, look no further than Lone Star Reptile Racks. They offer a variety of sizes for all types of snakes, geckos, rats, and more. You can even order something custom. Shipping is available, or you can plan to pick up at a Herbst Reptile show near you. Visit ellisreptileracks.com to reach out to Lone Star Reptile Racks and place your order today.
.com. What? I'm going to read it.
Oh, I didn't know if you were done eating or not.
I'm not done eating, but I can eat during the show.
Okay.
I can multitask like sometimes, but when it comes to food, Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is a small feeder and pet supply business based in San Antonio, and they regularly schedule feeder meetups around San Antonio as well as other neighboring towns and cities. They offer shipping on their feeder insects, isopods, and are working on starting shipping on their feeder rodents too, which are high quality. All feeders are raised on a nutritional diet that optimizes the health of the reptiles and the amphibians that consume them. I need to get some more large rats from so I'm running out of large rats.
Don't forget, we have our awesome sign by Focus Cube.
It's going to get on the wall.
No. It's going to be on the wall this weekend because I'm cleaning our house and decorating for Halloween.
I should rephrase it. It's going to get back on the wall. It was on the wall, and then someone got a chameleon.
That takes up the whole corner of the wall.
That took up a big chunk of our wall.
He's really pretty, though.
So I just got to tell the Reddies, fuck you.
I love him.
Fuck you, so Lena.
Great.
Yeah, he's wonderful. He is. He's cool.
He is really fun.
Except when his dumbass falls off a branch.
He only did that once.
He's only done that once while we were in here.
That we were in
I guarantee that stupid thing is falling down.
And I was like, what just happened? And he literally got up and kind of shook.
You got to talk to the microphone.
He shook himself off and then he climbed right back up.
I don't know how chameleons survive in the wild. They're not smart.
I don't get it.
They're not smart.
I don't get it.
The only thing dumber than them, I think,
are
crested geckos.
I knew that's where you were going with that.
Lewis is running a deal on jumbos, 300 for 75 live. Again, I can't do lives. Can't do live.
But that's not bad.
That's a lot of rats.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of rats. I don't think the live ones would like being in my freezer. Am I forgetting? Oh, Herbst Reptile shows. Why is my phone sticky?
Probably because you're eating.
That's probably a good thing. I am eating. What is it? Chris always points out. Chris Eaton always points out that I always eat during the podcast.
Tonight we definitely are.
It's Chick-fil-A. Someone brought me food, so I'm gonna eat it. Speaking of Chris Eaton, he was back on last night. Now you slept through it, and I was printing stickers.
I did. You were printing little stickers of him, though.
I was. My house is full of 5-inch Chris's.
Yeah.
Take that however you want.
We have almost 1,000 of them.
But it'll be by the end of the night. It'll be 1,000. By the end,
there will all be
1,000 peg-legged pirate Chris's.
They're very, very cute, though.
That if you're going to NARBC, we'll be there. Find Corey at Corey Martin's Reptiles, and she can tell you where to buy one. The proceeds will go to help our buddy Chris Eaton. I will tell you how much the stickers are as soon as Sean Gray messaging me and telling me how much she's selling them for. So just waiting on that message.
Yes. And then once we have that information, there will also be a Google form that if you're not going to NARBC, but you would like to purchase.
Wait. What letters did you say?
If you are not going to NARBC.
Okay.
It all kind of slurred together.
Yes.
I'm tired and I'm much more cornbread country.
Anyway, if you're not going to NARBC,
you will be able to order them online and we will get those mailed out to you.
Yes. And the proceeds all go to help our one-legged friend, Chris Eaton.
Redline Exotic sent him one shoe in the mail. He got it today.
I saw that.
It's a new shoe.
That'd
There's only one.
Hopefully it's the right foot. Or the left, right?
I don't know.
Right foot. Left foot? I don't know.
It should be the...
Yeah, so you don't know either. You've seen tons of pictures of it, and now you can't think of which foot it is.
Which is the peg leg on the picture?
The peg leg on the picture is the left.
So then so it should be the right foot.
Which was the pirate. So we had talked about it on the podcast, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 episodes ago, about wanting to do a pirate version of him with a peg leg and a little frog on his shoulder. Hold on.
Okay.
And then Sean Gray's daughter.
Yes. Who is brilliant. Both of them are.
Haley. Yeah, I'm just calling Haley Hannah. It doesn't matter. They're twins. It works. But I'm pretty sure it was Haley.
It was Haley.
She drew it up, and it's awesome. I've been staring at little 5-inch Chris's for a week now.
They're freaking adorable. They really are the best.
Probably 3 more inches than Chris actually has.
Stop.
Anyways, also if you need UVB light bulbs, I didn't even do the herps. If you need UVB light bulbs, check out VivTech products for their LED UVB light bulbs, and you can get 15% off if you use code Gumbo22. We had Eric on last week. Not that anybody that listens to the recorded one would know, because you haven't heard that one yet because it's still on my computer. But if you listen live, hey, let's do herps real quick. Herps, we have Waco, Texas coming up October 21st, 22nd. Over to Lake Charles, November 4th and November 5th. West of Monroe, Louisiana, November 18th, November 19th. Over to Weird, Austin, Texas, December 2nd, December 3rd. It's a whole town that's proud of being weird. And they want to keep it weird. And it's happening.
I was going to say, I've seen stickers that say keep Austin weird.
And it's happening because California's moving there. So it's becoming weirder.
Yeah, it does remind me of,
It's becoming little California. Slidell, Louisiana, December 9th and December 10th. Oklahoma City, not going to that one. January 13th and January 14th. Like I said, I'm sure people in Oklahoma City would be upset if they hear me say bad things about Oklahoma, but they don't have internet up there, so they don't know what I'm saying. Longview, Texas, January 20th and January 21st. And Conroe, back to Conroe. We were just in Conroe, January 27th and 28th, which is my birthday weekend. Yep. Which, because of our kid, I may or may not be there.
I was about to say,
fucking kids.
We don't know yet.
Kids ruin everything.
I'll hopefully be there. I'm bummed I had to miss the last one.
We could go for Saturday and part of Sunday.
Kids ruin everything.
Depending on what time her band performs.
I wouldn't know. It's great.
I mean, the good thing is that when I get old and I can't wipe my own ass, and I need someone to feed me, I already made my own nurse to take care of me. So
I love that you assume Josephine is going to do that for you.
She'll at least pay someone to do it.
She will. That I believe in.
That's all I really need is her to pay somebody to do it.
Carry you. You annoy her.
She loves me. Who does she pick to go with?
Shut your face. Yeah. Bring our guest in.
If we ever have to go somewhere, who do you want to ride with, Daddy or Mama? It's always me.
Shut up.
That's what I thought.
Bring our guest in. I don't like not being the favorite anymore.
Yeah, well, life sucks. Bring in our guest. Our guest tonight is Michael Taylor. Michael is heading up the Texas Carpetfest. How's it going, Michael?
Good. How y'all doing tonight?
Good.
I'm gonna eat French fries.
Go ahead. Say, don't. Thank you for leaning back from your microphone. I appreciate you. I have a thing with noises. So, how does one start heading up an event like Carpetfest? Because that alone makes my eye want to twitch a little bit and gives me anxiety.
Well, I guess go give a little detail on where it started and the guys that started it, and then how you got involved.
Well, I guess a lot of folks probably know it's Eric and Owen with NPR started doing a Northeast Carpetfest. I think they're around year 10 or 11, something like that. I think they started around 2012. Could be a little off on the dates, but I think that's close. They kind of started it as a group of guys who are all into the Morelia genus. So it was a way for the guys in that area to kind of gather once a year to get together and trade tips and tricks and advice and just to meet and hang out and kind of have a way to visit with one another at least once a year in person. So they started doing that. And, of course, they got the NPR podcast. So it kind of came an annual event for them. And then they started popping up on other parts of the country. So Southeast Carpetfest, Southern Carpetfest, Southwest. I believe there's one in the Northwest a couple of years ago. So they all kind of started popping up around the country. Everybody kind of doing their own version of it or, their take on it. there was a Southern Carpet Fest here in Texas for, I think, 3 or 4 years a row, and it ran. But I believe the last one of those was 2018 or 2019, so it's been a few years. And how I got involved with it is I just kind of started doing it, to be honest. I've reached out to a few people, and I got a lot of wishy-washy answers about, well, maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't, maybe we're gonna, maybe not. So I just kind of started working on it. When Ari opened his place in December for his soft opening, I just kind of showed up on his doorstep and started talking to him about, if he'd be open to doing something like that. And of course, Ari was. So here we are a few months later, and it's getting pretty, for me, it's getting pretty hairy because I've never put anything together like this, and I'm down to it's 3 weeks from Saturday. So we're getting pretty close to the finish line, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, but it has been a lot to undertake. I've just been trying to do my best to keep everything in line and hopefully put on a good event for people where they can enjoy themselves hanging out.
That's so awesome. How many people do you anticipate are going to be there?
That's a real good question. I'm actually glad you asked. I'm going to put up we have a Texas Carpet Fest group on Facebook. So if you're not part of that, I encourage people to look on Facebook for that. Just search Texas Carpet Fest. It should come up. I'm going to put another poll probably tonight or in the morning, try to get a head count, try to get people to let me know what our head count's going to be. Because we're trying to do some food options for people. So we're probably going to do a Blackstone or a grill and do like some sausages or brats or something like that. So
yeah,
it's helpful for us to get a head count so we know kind of what, how much food we need to be bringing. So I'm going to put another poll up tonight. I think right now, to be honest, I'm probably around 60, maybe 60 or 70.
That's awesome.
Some of that depends on, life changes for people, and, they say they're going to do something and then something comes up and they can't, that sort of thing. But I'm hoping to be 60 plus at this moment.
We went to one down in Florida.
Southeast.
Yeah. I heard that one's great.
And we had such a good time. It was before COVID. But we went, and the way they did the food that night was they basically had a couple grills that were functioning. They had a couple people that were responsible for manning the grills. But then if there was something specific, like hot dog, sausage, whatever that you wanted, like everybody was like, it was like basically like a sign up, like, okay, I'm going to bring this. And because I remember I took a bunch of buns because I'm like, I can bring those.
Yeah, because they didn't want none.
Shut up.
She got buns.
I'm sorry. I was also... Our daughter apparently spilt Polynesian sauce in the bag.
I got kids ruin everything.
And so that's what he was.
He got all of my fries
cleaning,
and then he got all of my tablecloth.
And he was. So that's what was sticky on your phone.
Yeah,
it was Polynesian sauce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Kids.
It's been a very long week, and it's only Wednesday, so I'm easily distracted tonight. That's awesome though. That you have all of that, and so it's going to happen at Ari's place, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Saturday, October 14th from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Reptile in Johnson City. If you've not had a chance to make it out there, this is a great opportunity to go check out Ari's new place. They just had their grand opening on Labor Day Monday, a couple of weeks ago. They did their soft open in December, so they had their temperate building open for a while now, but now the full facility is open right now. So when everybody's there hopefully when everybody's there on Carpet Fest, everything will be available, have full access to the facility. So
that's so exciting.
I'm so excited.
Really amazing facility.
I went back in December, the first weekend that they did their soft opening. As soon as they announced it, I told my husband, I said, Saturday morning, we're getting up at like 6:00 in the morning and we're going to Austin.
Nice.
It was so much fun. So I'm excited to go back.
Why did I think it was near Dallas?
It's not.
No
It's like it's in Johnson City. It's like
I was like, why did I think it was
45 minutes west of Austin?
And like
That's about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
45, 50 minutes west of Austin. It's about
That's not bad.
50 minutes north of San Antonio. So it's kind of in between Austin and San Antonio.
That's like 3.5, 4 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I don't know why I was.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. I mean, you can easily make a day trip out of it.
That's cool.
Well, if you saw it in December when, he was still putting all that work together, they put an absurd amount of work into making that building.
I got like a little sneak peek of the big building because they
same.
left the doors open, and I've been stalking them relentlessly on Facebook, like waiting for them to announce the grand opening.
So exciting.
I can't wait.
And
It's beautiful.
We're trying to swing for James to be able to go. Our daughter has district volleyball tournament that weekend.
Fucking kids.
So one of us has to parent.
If you can't go, I'll take lots of pictures for you.
No,
so
I'm
I'm
good.
hoping he's gonna go. I will be here. It's okay. It happens.
Well, if you can't make it out for Carpet Fest, you need to make it out there sometime because it really is an amazing facility. They have they've done everything right. They've done it the right way. We got naturalistic enclosures. They got really large enclosures and not just little, 10-gallon or 20-gallon aquariums or the small enclosures that you traditionally see at the older zoos. The Croc Monitor exhibit's a 2-story exhibit. We've got a great Fly River turtle exhibit. I mean,
the anaconda exhibit looks amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I feel like they really are like the platinum standard for like, I don't even want to say gold standard. They're the platinum standard for what reptile zoos should be. Anything that I've seen after going to the soft opening, all I keep doing is comparing it to Reptilandia, which I don't know, may not necessarily be fair because it is really amazing, but it's better than some major zoos that I've been to.
So for someone because I'm assuming you've been through the whole enclosure and everything there of the buildings.
I have been out there a couple times, but I haven't seen haven't been out there since they did the grand opening. But
so how long do you anticipate that it takes from start to finish to see everything?
I hate to put an answer on that because everybody sees something at a different pace. I mean, there's 2 buildings full of animals and things to look at. And they got quite a few. And the second building is actually a 2-story building, so there's a lot to look at there. I mean, I would think it would take an hour or 2 anyway. So
okay,
I feel like that's fair. Maybe longer hour or 2 if you're somebody that maybe isn't a big reptile nerd. I could spend all day in there, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, see, and I probably could too, right? Because I'm really looking forward to looking at the Croc Monitor exhibit now that they've got it up and running again. So, and of course, I think everybody probably saw they got a Komodo out there as well. Yeah. So really
James
looking
is
forward to seeing
excited
that
about
too. So,
Yes.
if you spot and look, you did that exhibit for like a half hour, then obviously your number is going to be greater. If you're just, you're there because your kids are there or something, you're just kind of walking through it. Maybe not.
Like when we go to the Houston Zoo, now that the new exhibit is open, we factor in like us to be able to sit down and eat for like 30 to 45 minutes. I mean, we're there for 6 hours.
I still haven't seen the new exhibit.
I'll take you.
Galapagos?
Please do.
We should go for the zoo thing. My membership gets us in for free.
Don't go there expecting to see animals from the Galapagos.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're only going to see one.
They're all protected.
Tortoise,
so you can't bring them out of the country.
Everything else is things that would be similar to stuff that might be at the Galapagos, other than the tortoise.
It's still really cool. Don't let his
no, it's still cool, but you get you don't get Galapagos penguins.
Well, I knew they weren't going to have like marine. I knew they weren't going to have iguanas.
Yeah, you get blue iguanas from like the Cayman Islands.
And everything still looks really cool.
You get Humboldt penguins instead of Galapagos penguins.
Okay.
You get there's like jellyfish and stuff that I guess you could probably find somewhere around there. But yeah, the tortoises are the only like Galapagos animal there. Everything else is protected.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
But it's still an amazing exhibit. Like it's awesome. But the thing that Ari's going to deal with at his new place is that it's the same thing that a lot of decent reptile or decent zoos deal with is people going, well, I can't find the animal. Well, it may be hiding. That's what they do. Like that's the problem. Like Ari's cages are so naturalistic that like that anaconda may be in the bottom of the water and you may not see it. Just got to accept it. So
he has set it up nice where you can see most aquatic exhibits, you can see under the water line as well as, from above. So hopefully there won't be a ton of that, but there's always some of that, right? I mean, you make a big enclosure, the animals are going to hide. That's what they do. That's what they're supposed to do.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. As a ex-zookeeper, I love seeing exhibits when I go to places.
Well, I think that one should be right up your alley then, because I mean, again, I think I think Megan said right. He's the platinum standard. He's doing it the right way.
So I'm just pivoting the conversation back to Texas.
No.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So I've never heard of Carpetfest before. I've never been to a Carpetfest.
Okay.
What was it? Our friend,
jungle carpet.
Our friend said that her husband was going to a jungle carpet festival.
And I was like, a jungle carpet festival. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, where is this happening? Like, is this a brand new event? Like, what's going on? But then I was like, oh, but our Reptile Day event isn't on the 14th. So I think you can still do both. And I said something to James and he goes, wait a minute. She about Carpetfest? I was like, no, that's not what she meant. And sure enough, I text her. She's like, oh yeah, that.
Yeah, if this is going to become an annual October thing, Michael, you and I are going to have to get together and coordinate so that way we're not doing our events on the same weekend.
For real.
Yeah, we can totally do that because I mean the goal is for it to be an annual event. So
yeah.
I would like for it to be an annual event. And,
this will be our second year for World Reptile Day, which
nice.
I wanted to be earlier. I actually originally wanted the 14th. So maybe this is why the universe didn't let me have it. So that way they wouldn't coincide. But okay. So for those of us who have never been to a Carpet Fest, what can we expect from the event?
I've never made one of the Northeast ones, so I mean, I think they're going to vary from region to region. But for us, what you can expect is, everything's going to be set up to 2 p.m. when we're going to be open or when it's available to us. So if you're coming as part of Carpetfest, Ari's not going to be charging you admission. We are going to ask for a donation for Carpetfest to cover our costs for the venue and the food and stuff like that. But there's no actual ticket cost or anything like that. So that'll be the first thing is we'll probably check people in and give them a bracelet or wristband or something like that so that everybody knows and Ari and his staff know that you're with Texas Carpetfest. You'll have for the entire 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., you're going to have full access to the facility, both buildings and everything there. Ari's going to be on hand, of course, to facilitate and talk about the exhibits, so have full access to that. Because they're open till the public till 5 p.m., we are going to have food and beverage there, but it's going to be all the food and beverage will be after 5 p.m. So basically, we need to wait for him to have his regular business day, close down the facility, get the general public out of there, and then we'll have access to adult beverages and the grill and stuff like that. So I've had a lot of guys step forward to help with the planning and the processes. Matt Morris and Kyle James, if you know either one of those guys, they're going to help on the grill. They're working on the food options. Ted Dwayne he brews beer. He's bringing a keg of beer, maybe 2 kegs. So we'll have some adult beverage options as well. But again, all that's going to be after 5. So we do have to wait till it's just us to start on the alcohol options and the food options. So, and then other than that, it's, you're going to have the zoo there to go through and to go through all of that. And then, my other goal is just for, it's a social media age. Everybody talks on Facebook or Instagram or, through text or something like that. People never meet. And I'm guilty of that myself. I'm typically one of those guys that has a snake collection in an extra room in his house. He never talks to anybody. So that was kind of for my own personal reasons. Was part of this journey for me too, is to get out and be more involved in the community, be more active in the community. So my goal is to, have a place where guys can come together and again, maybe trade tips and tricks and, talk about their collections to other people who are interested in that sort of thing. And just to meet each other face to face and maybe have a more amenable community.
It's funny. You explained that, and that was basically the reason I started this podcast. Like, I've kept reptiles for over a decade at that point, well over a decade at that point. And then I was like, this give me a chance to actually talk to people, meet people. Yeah. And so now once a week I get to meet new people about reptiles. And so we had a ton of fun going to the Southeast Carpetfest. It was 2019.
It was right before COVID.
That sounds right.
I think that was it. So that was a good one.
There was lots of adult beverages. I remember that.
I remember.
I remember playing beer pong, but since I don't drink beer pong, someone else literally stood next to me to drink. That's how I played it too. Because I'm like, I don't really drink, but I want to play. And they're like, come on.
I think Jake from the Herpetoculture podcast was my partner, and he would drink.
Jake was going to die that night.
I just remember playing cornhole and tossing beanbags at his beanbags.
Yes. Y'all, he was so intoxicated. He had no clue what was happening to him either. Bless his heart.
He'll never hear this. It's fine.
Well, we're going to have adult beverages. You can bring your own if you like. If beer's not your thing and you want to bring something else, you're welcome to bring that. But again, after 5 to consume it. So.
Right. But it was really awesome. There was an auction there.
Thank you for bringing that up. Actually, I should have brought that up before, but yeah, we are going to have a silent auction. It was one of the other things I wanted to do is have a charitable component to the event. I think that adds a little importance and a little significance to the event. It's my own personal opinion.
I agree.
So we are having a silent auction. All the benefits, everything that's all the funds for the silent auction will go directly to USARC, to USARC. So that's, I think that's important for me and really for the community at large to do something more than just your community or more than just your collection, do something for the community at large to help. So we are going to have silent auction. I've got a few of those items posted on the Texas Carpetfest website. There is a texascarpetfest.com. You can take a look on there and see those items. There's some animals in there, which is why I put it on the website. I didn't want to put them on Facebook and end up in Facebook jail or one of those things. So the animals are all on the website. So feel free to check those out as well. We have a couple really nice offerings so far and several more to come in the weeks coming. So
maybe I can do like a package where because a lot of folks they'll be there breed reptiles and have their own business and logos and all that stuff. And I do stickers. Maybe I can do 200 stickers. Whoever gets it, they get 200 stickers of whatever they want. And so I can donate that.
That's a good idea. Let me know. We'll get it up.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. I'd like to be able to help out there. What did my dad say?
I don't sell anything, so I have nothing to offer
Oh.
except
No, but you can go spend
my
money.
sparkling personality. So
His dad said, I think the adult beverages add importance to the event. The auction is just a nice side thing. The auction definitely benefits the more people have.
Yeah, you gotta do it late. You
an
gotta do it after
inebriate-
everybody's drank.
do the auction
Don't do the
later
auction
in the
early.
evening, because then it just gets really
If
fun
they don't
to
start drinking until
watch.
5, don't do the auction until like 8 or 9.
Yes, that's when pocketbooks become much more open.
What we're gonna do, I want to go the silent auction route because again, we only have the venue for the 9 hours, so I don't want to do a live auction because I feel like that eats up 2 or 3 hours of everybody's time. The most people are probably familiar with the NARBC ones, and they kind of get a little rowdy or have a tendency to get a little rowdy.
Yeah.
I don't want people to visit and hang out and have a good time and talk to one another rather than just outbid each other for items. So we're going to do the silent auction route, and but the silent auction will run from probably 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. or something very close to that.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it during the event too, to make sure
Oh,
people
yeah.
are aware of items
Or
and
check your
whether or not
stuff.
they've been and whether or not they've been outbid or not, and things like that. So
That's awesome.
Tony Jerome's got a nice offering in there. Corey Martin has a really nice bredli she's offering.
Corey doesn't have nice animals. Forget Corey.
You stop
What?
being bitter.
I was supposed to get a lizard, but her kid cried and I can't have the lizard.
Stop it. Stop it now.
I'm just kidding, Corey. If you hear this, I love you.
So, but yeah, there's gonna be a lot of nice offerings there, not just carpet pythons. There's other stuff that's gonna be there as well too. So,
what is Animal Con?
Animal
I don't
Con
know
is
what
not.
that is.
So Darren asked in the chat, Animal Con. He said, "Was this week? Do any of you see yourself attending that in the future?" No.
What is Animal Con?
It is the YouTube, social media type people had a. They have their own thing now.
Influencers.
Yeah, and there's several of them I would not like to see in person, or existence.
I spent like a solid 15 minutes at my community event on Saturday morning explaining to people why I could not stand certain reptile influencers and who
But
they
free
should
handling
be,
is bad.
who they should be listening to instead. That's a whole other conversation.
Us, because we have
Yeah.
deep conversations about.
Okay, not for
Animal
children.
food a lot
Not,
of times.
not for children,
Dear
though.
Lord. Don't do it.
I see
Lewis
Lewis
says,
mentioned in the chat that he's got an AFT up there for option. That's they have a really nice African fat tail that's going to be part of the auction as well too. So
I wish I could deal with bugs because I love African fat tails, but I can't deal with bugs.
yeah, they have to eat.
They're so cute. I know. I need them to be vegetarians.
And now you sound like those people that want to buy their dogs vegetarian dog food.
Well, see, like
Listen.
I can deal with like rodent feeders. That doesn't bother me. It's just my bug phobia. I can't. If they will just eat like mealworms, then that'd be
Mm.
great. But apparently they need more than just mealworms.
Well, I mean, it'd be nice, yeah.
So
Or we could just man up and get over the damn bugs.
no, I can't. Listen, I've tried. Hey, I can free handle some spiders now.
But
Oh,
Beyond,
free handle it now. Go hang
beyond that,
so we read a thing in our English class today. It was like a letter about a kid that had gone to camp, and she was like, "We had a tarantula crawl in our tent and it scared us. But then our counselor told us how it wasn't scary and let us hold it." And I'm like, whoa, stop this garbage right here. And like the whole class
Tell your
started
kids do not
laughing.
pick up random
And I was
spiders.
like, are you allowed to pick up wild animals that you have seen in the woods? And of course, all 22 of my kids were like, no, we should go the other way. Obviously, they've heard this rant from me once or twice before. But I was like, what kind of company is putting this passage out for people? This is not okay.
They're probably at Animal Con. Anyways, so I'm looking forward. I want to go. I gotta figure out where. Have y'all figured out where you're staying yet?
no, I have a couple of Airbnbs saved. If you and Robert still want to,
I know.
do that.
I
I
know.
just
I'm trying to go
haven't-
for sure. I don't know if Robert can go.
Well, and if it doesn't
Yeah.
start until 2:00 on Saturday, then you don't have to leave till Saturday morning.
yeah, I'm planning on driving down Saturday morning, but so Danny's coming down from Dallas for it, and we've talked about possibly just making it an overnight trip
Yeah.
also. So
I think the Reddies said they might be coming to it.
the who?
The Reddies,
Leave
chameleons.
Amanda.
the ones that got
chameleon.
us stuck with this damn lizard.
Oh, you
Oh.
shush.
They're in the chat, so I just want to make sure they heard that.
Yeah, so it's TBD right now.
Yeah.
So because I'm like, if the event doesn't start till 2, I don't want to feel rushed, like having to rush myself. So that way, because I don't
How
like
did I
to
get more of this.
I don't like to
polynesian
be
stuff?
on the road after midnight because I don't trust other people on the road, especially in,
I'm not driving
in
back. There's no way.
Houston. So
Oh, yeah, no, there will be a place to stay Saturday.
yeah, I just haven't figured out exactly where yet.
There's a
There's a
couple
place-
local hotels there, and it's the hill country in Texas, Central Texas. I mean, there's you can't swing a dead cat, not hit a VRBO or a B&B or some sort of offering like
I
that.
was
So there's a ton
trying
of
to
those places
find
available.
an Airbnb that wasn't super expensive. I found some really nice ones that I like and are on
Keep is
like
good.
a lot of
Well-
land that I just keep thinking, man, I could go herping later.
Yeah.
I'm really bad at it, so probably won't find anything, but A for effort.
Just fast. That's all. You just move real fast.
I try to be really, really slow, but
You're still so fast.
if I slow down anymore, I will be like at a sloth pace.
I'm
No,
the same way.
You were horrible when
I-
we went out to, like, it was
I'm
me,
a terrible
Danny.
herper.
Danny was with me most of the time because you were like running ahead.
I wasn't running. I was walking so slow.
You were like, why can't we find reptiles? I was like, because you're walking right past them.
I never said, why can't we find reptiles?
God.
Oh,
That's why you need to go road cruising.
aren't
But road
you
cruising
so
is a
glad you came on
slower.
our podcast, Michael?
I'm glad to be here.
So what do you keep? What do you personally keep?
Well, as you might expect, like it's pretty heavy on Morelia. I have a lot of jungle carpet pythons. I got a nice.
So it is
collection
Jungle
of
Carpet
those.
Python Fest.
That's probably the bulk
Whoa.
of my collection. Probably
Calm
about
down,
half of my
Katie.
collection.
You okay over there?
Good. I'm good.
Dying on
Oh
our soda.
God, I almost choked on that rich pepper.
Yeah, I'm heavy on Morelia. I keep a lot of jungle carpet pythons. I do have a few diamonds, a couple bread lie. See, I got too much stuff these days.
I've got a jungle, but she's an asshole.
Do y'all have carpet pythons? I didn't know if you had
I have one
He has
jungle.
one.
I have one Brettles, and I have one.
The Brettles was bought on purpose
The
Okay.
jungle was given to me by a friend
by a friend.
for something of it, and she's a bitch. Apparently, it's genetic because her mom is too. And then I have a Brisbane coastal from Pinnell.
Oh,
You
nice.
don't have a.
I have a coastal carpet python that I did not intend on taking home, but I walked into Pets Aplenty and casually mentioned to Johnny that one day I would like to have a carpet python. And he said, "Hey, come here, I want to show you something." And I walked out with carpet python. And then and then I got to explain to my husband why there was a charge for a couple $100 on our credit card.
My problem was the silent auction at a herp show. I wasn't going to get anything because normally it's nothing but ball pythons put up for
Mhm.
silent auction because everybody just wants to get rid of that stuff because
Mhm.
ball pythons suck. But then Michael put a fucking carpet python there, and I was like, God damn it, Michael. So I bet on it, and then I was talking to a friend of ours, and we were talking about it. And I said, "Yeah, I put a bet on it." She had put a bet on it earlier, but I
Corey
went.
Martin.
No, it wasn't Corey.
Oh, Wetton?
No, it was.
Oh, okay.
It was Lily.
Oh,
from
that's
Genetic
right.
Drama.
That's right. That's right. I
And so
remember. I remember this now.
Put a bid on it, and I told her, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." She goes, "Oh, that's fine. You can have it. That's good." And then I go back at the end. She fucking bid again and outbid me, and I went up to her. I was like, "What the fuck?" Because I didn't even know. I just saw my name, and I saw that I wasn't the first one on the list, and I put my name down. I was like, "We had the conversation."
We had a deal.
So I ended up paying her what I bid for it, and she covered the rest of it, and then I got it.
I have
Do we
a.
have a children's python? We get rid of that.
No, we got rid of that bitch.
Oh.
You got- I have a. I
I
have a
don't know
He
what we
was
got.
fucking evil.
I have a
That went to Blake.
jungle. I have a jungle carpet python that I got from Drew Schultz at the Learning Zoo.
Is yours an asshole?
Keep yourself. No, actually, he's pretty chill.
Fuck off. Then
He's
apparently,
pretty chill once I get him out of his enclosure.
because mine is an
Oh,
asshole.
damn.
Well, now I will say, so Danny has a female from him, and I kept her for a few months.
Is she an asshole?
She's a bitch.
That's mine. I'll go in there right now and
Maybe
try and grab
it's the
her.
female.
Wait, what clutch? When did you get yours? Maybe they're from the same clutch.
Year and a half ago?
Okay, no,
years?
not the same clutch. I don't think.
No, he just says that the female's a bitch and they pretty
Yeah,
much.
no,
the ones
Danny-
coming
Maybe
on.
it's just
Yeah,
the female.
Danny's
that are
is
hostile.
Danny's is an asshole. But
this
yeah,
one's
mine
horrible.
once you get him out of the enclosure, he's a little trigger happy in his
Oh, no.
house, but
No,
once you
mine's
get
a
him out,
bit-
he's chill.
Mine's a bitch in or out. I ended up putting her in a tub, like
Yeah.
in a rack in a tub, just so she would be like out of the way and not striking at stuff when I walk into my snake room.
Yeah.
I was like, you just hang out in here. So now she lives in a tub.
Yeah. Now I have two children's pythons, a male and a female. My female is great. She's super chill, just whatever about
Nope,
life.
mine was
My
horrible.
male, he chooses violence literally every day. So
I got tired of mine and just finally Blake Wilson bought it. I was like, here you go. You can have it.
Yeah, I would like to eventually have like all of the snakes from the Antaresia genus, but
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much impossible.
I don't think that my budget
You
will
gonna buy
ever
anthills?
work for all of them.
You can get anthills.
I wanted to until I saw the prey.
Right.
And I've already sort of got my husband on board with me eventually buying at least one indigo. I don't think I can convince
You
him.
go to Texas because it's cheaper.
I would like to.
Eastern's better.
Yeah, but
What are we talking about?
Indigos.
but I do native education in Texas. So to have a Texas native
Yeah,
would be
Eastern's are better.
wonderful.
We
If
know
I'm
a
going to
guy.
deal with a snake that shits that much, I'm going to go ahead and get the cool one.
We know a guy.
Texas indigos are cool.
Not as cool as an Eastern. I don't care what you say. It's not as cool as an Eastern.
What are you smoking?
How do you think a Texas indigo is better than an Eastern indigo?
I think they're equally cool.
No, they're not.
I don't
how
think that
people are
one's
you know how
better
people have
than
like
the
multiple, they have multiple children and they like, I love all of you the same. That's a fucking lie. Just like what you said is
Well,
Easterns are better.
I don't have children, so there's no competition in my house.
Easterns are better.
Now I have a dog that I like better than the other.
Wait a minute. You have multiple dogs, but I know you have a favorite.
Okay, so we got to the Morelia. What else do you have? I know we got sidetracked because that happened.
I got the jungle carpets. I got some diamonds, red lies. I got a couple inlands. I do have two red-tailed boas, BCCs. They're fairly young. They're still growing up. And I have a smattering of rat snakes. I've got some old world rat snakes that I've picked up from Mountain Moose in the last couple of years. I got a couple Russians, a couple Thai bamboo rat snakes, and also have a pair of black milk snakes. So,
Oh, you have black milks. Those are cool.
they are cool. Those are really cool snakes. They're super handleable, super docile. They're pretty good size.
I thought they get big. They get bigger than kings.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get good size. They're the biggest of the milk snakes. And they got a really nice jet black look to them from tip to toe. So those are cool snakes. I actually really like them.
I've always thought that, and I think the number one reason they're not bigger in the hobby because I think they're way cooler than Mexican kings because they get
Way
bigger,
cooler. Yeah.
but they don't start out black. And so
But see, I think that's part of the fun, though, right? You get to see them go through that color change.
I think it is for people like us, but the general public who wants a black snake is going to buy a black snake. They're not going to buy something that they're told will turn black.
Well, that's
So I think that's why Mexican king snakes are so big. Because again, you don't see milks anymore, but they can't be any harder to breed. They're the same. They're basically the same fucking thing. They're all technically king snakes.
I've not bred my milks yet, but I've been told they need another year or so to mature than Mexican kings. So it takes them a little longer probably to get there.
Gotcha.
But they are going to be bigger, and they're going to be. And Mexican kings got kind of a nippy reputation. I've never had one, but I've heard they're a little on the nippy side. Whereas
I
the
have
milks are,
one,
the
and
black
he's
milks are super
on.
Oh,
docile.
I have one. He's on probation from educational classes.
Well, there you go.
Ours mine doesn't like James.
Mine, it doesn't strike. It just takes off. It just like you reach in there, it just comes out of the tub and shoots off behind the tub, and
I thought she was coming out and striking at you.
Mine
it just wants to go.
doesn't possess the ability to differentiate between actual food and
That's a lot of king snakes.
everything else.
I think that's a king snake trait.
I don't know.
He's
my,
the
my
worst.
speckled king's pretty good. My speckled king doesn't try to eat me.
He's the worst of my four. My best behaved one is my desert king snake. Literally all three of my adult king snakes originally came from Hayden, and I was told, "Oh yeah, they're wonderful. They'll be so great for education."
This is a person who doesn't
Hayden,
mind getting
your
called to death by
snakes are
raptors.
assholes.
Hilarious.
She also doesn't mind having hawks claw at her arm and all that stuff. So
This is true. She's a bird person, and I don't trust things
and
that
bird
fly.
people are weird.
So I don't. Goose is the only bird I trust, and it's because Hayden's holding him.
I got to hold him and take pictures on my birthday.
He's amazing.
Still don't trust him.
Hey, a goose is a giant red-tailed hawk,
He's
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay.
and he is so cool.
He's gorgeous.
And he was a lot bigger than I anticipated because I got to put the glove on and hold him, and he let me touch him. And
He's gonna
everything.
be at
It was great.
he'll be at Reptile Day again this year. She's bringing him.
Cool.
Because birds are reptiles.
I mean,
There.
it's okay. He's cool.
And also, even
Depending
if they
on what
weren't,
paper you read.
he's really fucking cool. So
Yes.
Anyways,
Still a bird. I mean, at least it's not a parrot. Can we all agree parrots suck?
yeah. we have neighbors down the street that have a macaw.
On their porch every now and then. Just out there on
Like
the
the
porch.
whole cage is out there, but their cage is open.
Like I've seen it sitting on top of the cage
Like, and it
outside
just
with no one out there.
I'm like, I get the wings are clipped and you want, but my thoughts
Let a cat
are,
wander up there.
what if something comes up to get your bird? That cage is meant to keep that bird safe, and it can't
And they
do
just
that
leave it open.
if the door's wide
Oh yeah, it
open.
was just sitting on. We were walking one night at like 10 o'clock at night, and there it is, sitting on the porch on top of the cage.
Same house where that stupid little dog tried
Tried to
eat
kill
our
us.
face.
Yeah,
Really trusting.
you can hear it every now and then. You walk outside and just there's apparently
I
a
can
second
hear it
one
the other
because you can
the
hear them
other
yelling
morning.
at each other from down the road.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Well, I don't understand why people own parrots. They're loud.
I don't trust things that fly, whether it's a bird or a bug.
But that's not my problem. I just like having fingers.
I don't.
My snakes won't bite
I don't
off a
trust
finger.
birds.
On Blue and Gold McCall will take a finger. So
That's true.
I don't trust them. You watch people like play with them like they're cute and all. Fuck that.
At my neighbors, because apparently if you keep reptiles, it means that you are the animal contact for literally
Oh, I was
everything.
gonna say the anti-crime.
And- depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
And so they'll call me for, literally anything. Someone called me for a bat a couple of weeks ago.
I saw that on your Facebook.
A bat.
A
You
bat.
didn't see this on her Facebook?
Did you respond?
bat.
Did you respond to them like, I do snakes?
Well, they reached out to me because she's like, I think there's a dead bat on my porch, and they wanted to know if I disposed of it. I was like, well, if it's dead, no.
Kick it off the porch.
Just put it over your fence into the woods or something if it's dead. And
Or the neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
I don't like that neighbor. It's cool.
I'm like, just gently poke it with a broom. If it moves, it might be injured. Like I'll come and take, I'll
Or it could
come
be
and
rabid,
take
you
it
know?
to a rehabber. It might be sick. I don't know. And well, it wasn't. Apparently bats are just stupid.
yeah.
And I don't know a
find
ton
this stuff all the time.
I don't know a ton about them except don't touch it with your hands.
Yep.
And
Don't get bit.
don't get bit. And this bat is the exact reason that I don't deal with things that fly, because did you know the bats scream? And I'm not talking like echolocation
No,
shit.
it
I mean
sounds like someone is killing a small child.
It's not-
summoning a demon from hell
Yes.
kind of level screaming.
It's
Yeah.
not. Have you ever tried to kill a rabbit?
No, I haven't tried to kill any animal.
They scream.
Oh,
Bloody
yeah.
fucking murder.
It's one reason I can't feed live, because like my heart just can't take it.
I
Or my
so
wallet.
to kill a rabbit properly, if you can do it well, you're supposed to dislocate the head. And
This was
so
a great conversation. I'm
yeah.
so glad I'm on
So
the podcast
you
tonight.
grab behind the head, you grab the back legs, and you pull.
I was
and you,
always in the
and you
house
feel
when
it
he had
pop
to
and
do
it'd be
this.
dead. I tried it once, and I went to do that, and I felt crunching, and it didn't
Oh,
snap, and
God.
it's just screaming. I'm like, fuck. And so from that point on, I killed all rabbits with a stick and just bashed them in the back of the head one time, and they were done. And there was no screaming.
4 is his limit. That's when he
That is
starts
how many
to
I can
feel
kill
like a
before I-
monster.
That'll be interesting to know what kind of dreams I have later this
That's
evening.
his limit.
Great.
I
Super.
cannot kill more than 4 at a
Super
time because it does make me feel bad.
I don't know who Bruce is, but he and I could have
Oh, no,
a
you
good. I do.
We had him on the podcast a while back. He's the one in California that does the rescues.
Oh,
But
yes.
I did see that he did get. I think it was
Yes.
a red rattlesnake on a glue trap. He had to
Oh
remove
my
a
god.
red
Yes.
rattlesnake from a glue trap.
That Bruce, he offered to take me herping if I come out
Yeah.
to Southern California.
Yeah, I saw the
That's
picture on
great.
Facebook today of the rattlesnake on a glue trap.
I didn't see
Oh,
that. I'll have to go look at it. He and I would have something to talk about.
So you had a venomous snake on a.
Yes,
On a
I
glue trap.
got a cottonmouth off of a glue trap a few weeks ago. That was fun.
I remember texting you later in the day, like, I'm just making sure you're still alive. And you were like, I had your husband on call. It's totally fine. I'm like, that's good.
Thankfully, it was a juvenile, so I was able to deal with it myself. If it had been an
But
adult,
the juveniles are more deadly, don't you know?
Oh my God,
obviously,
James.
They're more deadly.
hey, YOLO,
Their venom is stronger because they're babies.
obviously.
Duh.
This was literally like one of the chillest snakes I have ever handled ever. He
What
was
exactly is the protocol for getting a snake off a glue trap?
don't get
on.
bit.
Don't get bit.
Yes.
I mean, Seems like a good place to start. I mean, yeah.
I will return. I have to go pick up our child,
Okay, we got our kid.
but I will return.
So
Have fun.
lots of olive oil or vegetable oil.
Yeah, I use vegetable oil because it's cheap. But honestly, any mild cooking oil is fine. For non-venomous snakes, I always start with the butt and just work my way up
I bet you do.
for the head. With the cottonmouth, I managed to secure the head first, and I didn't have any tubes, which have officially been added to my supply list.
All you gotta do is contact somebody with
Um,
tubes, which I have in my truck.
You were at work.
That is true. Some of us have real jobs.
Yeah. I have a real job. I just get to do it in my pajamas.
Like I said,
But in a pinch, a plastic water bottle works perfectly. So
perfectly or works.
I didn't get bit. I did not pay a visit to Spencer.
Who had number 80?
He's at number 81 as of
Spencer
last
Green.
night.
Spencer Green had number by 81 for the year.
Yep, which is officially his record for the year, because last year he had 80 for the entire year. Yeah, it's been a busy snake season.
Darren said if it was stuck to the trap, it couldn't chase you because, you know, they're deadlier as babies and they chase you.
Oh, once I got it off, I barely made it out alive. It was a really close call, especially after I made him sit for a photo shoot.
So Michael, you said you have red tail boas. Are you one of those that gets super upset when people call BCIs red tails?
Not really. I don't. Okay. You know, I got the BCCs. I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. It was kind of a nostalgic deal for me because that was one of the first snakes I had when I was a kid. Was red tails. You know, and I saw them, and they're just pretty snakes.
Yeah. Which ones did you get? Which BCCs are they? We'll look out.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. I'd have to go look it up. So I got them from Stan Grumbuck. Some of the Dallas people probably know him.
Well, probably Suriname or Guyanans. Those are just pretty common ones.
Suriname. Now that you mentioned it, they're Suriname. Yeah, that's what they're Surinames.
Those are pretty.
They're super pretty. And for me, they're just kind of nostalgic because, you know, when I was growing up, it was, you know, ball pythons, Burmese, and boas.
Yeah.
You know, that was kind of what you could get, at least in the, you know, when I first started keeping. So they're kind of nostalgic for me because I had a few when I was a kid, and I felt like I needed to have more. So I do. The BCI. Well, technically, I think they're BIs and BCs now. They've gotten their own species. But I try not to get too lost in the taxonomy. It changes so often.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it and I appreciate it for what it is, but
especially keeping Morelia. That shit gets very confusing. Yeah. Some things aren't even Morelia anymore, and people still call them Morelia. So
yeah, that's right. Some of that stuff is going to linger forever, I think. So
green trees will forever be labeled Morelia.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Pantheropus.
I'm not changing to. It's Guittata.
I've given up. It's what I know is what I know.
Elaphid Guittata. Guittata is way more fun to say than Pantheropus. Guittata. It's not as much fun, but I get it. There was definitely someone like you keep the old world rat snakes, who are the Elaphid genus, right? So
yeah,
I get the confusion there in new world rat snakes, but I grew up on one name. It was very easy to remember.
But you've been doing this a lot longer than I have, so yeah, you learned.
Your issue is that all rat snakes are now the same rat snake.
Yes.
Depending on who you ask.
Yes.
Yeah, I just can't get lost in that. I just, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it just changes so often, and it just feels like sometimes people are doing it for their own gratification, not for the greater community at large. So I try not to get too caught up in that. I mean, I appreciate it. If somebody wants to get lost on that, that's cool. That's their thing. That's all right.
That's kind of the way I feel about it, especially because, I mean, like for me, like I do a lot of community education. The average person, they don't need to know all the taxonomy.
No.
They really don't. So I try to keep everything layman's terms, easy to remember. I
like common names, but the funny thing about common names is it's weird. So like going back to red tails, I call all boas BI or BC red tails because they have red tails.
Yeah,
that's just what they've always been. And it was always growing up as true red tails, which were BCCs, and then red tails, which were BCIs. But now, like you get into some of the boa groups, they'll lose their shit on you and go, "That is not a red tail." I'm like, well, then you tell it to quit having a red tail. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why I don't post my boa in the boa groups, because I'm just a silent bystander in most reptile groups because I like the pictures and occasionally come across something cool. But aside from that, I can't stand most of the members in those groups.
I think that's a shame, right? But I'm the same way, right? Because I almost never post anything groups, and I'm in like a ridiculous number of the Morelia groups. And it's almost discouraging to post because every time you post something, somebody's got something negative to say about it.
Yeah.
You know, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, or you should be doing that, or you shouldn't be doing this. And it's just we focus on the wrong stuff. I mean, we got to do better at focusing on the big picture stuff.
I have a friend that took in a boa not too long ago, and she sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, you know, I have a Colombian red tail, but they're not, you know, the thing that I'm the most knowledgeable about when it comes to the hobby. So I recommended a group and I was like, hey, you know, go post in here. Like they're going to be able to tell you exactly what this is. And of course, the first thing that, you know, some jackass says is, oh, wow, look, again, somebody requesting what a morph is. Like, God forbid we should know what the hell we're keeping in our house.
Well, the Morelia group, thanks to Eric and Owen, I think are a little closer than some of the other groups. I mean, every group's going to have their assholes, but some groups are definitely where like, look, when we got this chameleon, I found out that the chameleon groups are fucking horrible. They're the worst. Don't join a chameleon group.
They can't be worse than the crested gecko
Yes,
groups.
they can. I promise you. I got banned the
Jesus
first day in a group
Christ.
by just posting a picture. I posted that cage and got banned. I got muted. I couldn't comment for 2 months
What's wrong with the picture?
because it has plastic plants in it.
Okay.
That was the problem. That my chameleon's going to die because of the plastic plants.
See, and you know, we get caught up on the bioactive versus
Okay.
the naturalistic versus sterile, and the racks versus the cages and all that kind of stuff. You know, if it works for you and it works for the animal, that's all that really matters, truthfully.
Exactly.
Where our group is on break right now, but I'm one of the mods for a group called Female Herpers and Reptile Keepers, and the top 2 threads that we either don't allow based on the subject matter or wind up getting heavily policed are anytime somebody mentions a spider morph, ball python spider morph,
Oh, yeah.
which at this point I just declined all of them. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have the mental capacity to deal with the thread. And anytime somebody asks about recommendations for racks, because you always have the people that are going to come in there, and it's an absolute headache. Those are the top 2. I can't stand them.
I love when people want to argue what box is the right box to put something in. I mean,
yeah, I mean, as long as you're meeting the animal's needs, you know, and you got the right temperature and you got the right, you know, it has all the right stuff in there. I don't know how important it really is what you're keeping it in. You know, again, as long as it suits the animal's needs.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people that would probably be horrified that I have a lot of snakes in plastic Rubbermaid containers, but there's no sense in me spending hundreds of dollars on an enclosure for a baby snake. You know, so I keep them in there, and then once they're ready for their adult enclosures, then I'll go ahead and splurge and fork over the money for it. But otherwise, there's no point.
It's like I was telling here before. I've got a bunch of Samboas. They do really well in a rack.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not going to build this huge cage for my Samboa, who's going to pretty much stay buried underneath stuff.
Yeah, for a terrestrial species, I'm kind of considering moving my king snakes to racks and using my other enclosures for my arboreal species because they're not using all that space. So it makes more sense.
Well, the arboreals make a better display animal, right? Because they are using that space.
Yeah, exactly. So, my king snakes stay hidden most of the time. Yeah. So I'm like, why did I even bother giving you all this room when you don't even appreciate it?
Yeah.
Well, let's go to our question this week. So this question came from Michael because you were interested. It was, what are you doing to support the hobby? Do you give to organizations, charities, or help with rescues? And if so, who do you help? So I'm going to go through several of these. And then Megan, I'll let you say yours in a little bit too, because it's on here. Where did my mouse go? I lost my mouse. Nothing wants to work now. Where now my mouse is, you know what it is? I bet I need a battery. Nothing works for me anymore. All right. Our buddy Max Hicks said US ARC, obviously. He gives US ARC, International Herpetological Symposium, and the Asclepius Snakebite Foundation, which we've had several folks from the Asclepius Snakebite Foundation on here. That is a great one to give to. US ARC is always one. If you're a keeper in the United States, always a great one. There's this Megan chick. We'll skip that one. Come back to that.
She's not that important.
Not important at all. Derek Dykstra said, I support my friends in the hobby, whether it's buying from them, listening to their podcasts, or jumping on as a guest, engaging with their social media accounts, recommending them to others. I feel like that's my contribution. That's pretty good.
That's fair.
Yeah. Outside of that, I keep to myself. I'd much rather give to conservation organizations, whether that be money or time or labor, than someone advocating for keeping. I love the animals and being able to keep them, but I love supporting wildlife conservation more. And that's really Derek's. He's a big wildlife conservation guy. So he's got Ashton Biological Preserve, the Reptile Preservation Institute, which is that's Cody and Pia Bartolini, the Rattlesnake Conservancy, the Orion Society. If you like your indigos, Orion Society is big on indigos. Orion Center for Indigo Conservation. There it is. Rattlesnake Solutions, King Cobra Conservancy, and Save the Snakes and Crocodilian Conservation Center of Florida. Those are all good ones. I mean, he's obviously in Florida, so a lot of those are very Florida-based groups.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's great. Some of those I haven't heard of, and that's part of the reason I was curious, because I mean, I donate to USARC, and obviously the silent auction is going for USARC, but I know there's got to be other organizations out there doing good work, and I just don't know them all. And I just would like to.
Yeah, like I said, I know the Orient Society does a lot with indigos. That's a lot of their stuff. Our buddy Jason Miloradovich says, I have an annual USARC membership. I need to. All of our family ones have gone. I need to redo our memberships. He says, I'm a silver member, but I have a bronze membership for each of the kids and Liz, which is his wife. He also donates to other organizations or fundraisers here or there, but not necessarily on an annual basis. And he's a Patreon for a really good podcast that gets tens of listeners. I'm just saying, it's a great podcast.
Yeah.
They let you come on. Our buddy Brittany Patchett says, I will admit I am the last to give funds, but I'm always more than willing to donate her time. Frequently volunteers at various sanctuaries and rescues. She likes to get her hands dirty and know that there's direct involvement made a difference. So there's always that people that want to get physically, if they can actually do something.
Mm-hmm. As somebody involved in quite a few volunteer organizations, sometimes honestly, donating your time is worth more than donating money. Most of these organizations have such a serious shortage of volunteers. A lot of us are desperate for bodies to help.
Oh, God. Like, what do you mean by bodies?
Momentarily forgetting who I'm here with.
I'm just coming up on Halloween. People are starting to look for bodies. Our friend Danielle said she supports local businesses and USARC. Occasionally does educational seminars in her area and supports friends in their endeavors to educate people. I guess she's talking about you there. She considers you a friend. I don't know. Several of her reptiles are rescues, including her 3-footed bearded dragon and her very first snake ever. She would happily rescue again. That's another thing, though. She's using it rightly, but I know a lot of people post on Facebook, I rescued this from PetSmart. Like, bitch, you bought that from PetSmart. That's not a rescue.
No, she got that one from Gina.
Yeah, which is a great rescue. Ashley,
I'm always a little worried about the rescues, because if you haven't vetted them and you don't know them, and are they really a true rescue, or are they just somebody?
There's only a handful
Gina's Heart of Gold
I will recommend to people. Gina's Heart of Gold is one of those examples that, because I don't necessarily agree. There's people out there that, they'll only support a rescue if they have a 501. A 501 doesn't mean you're a reputable rescue. It just means that you filed some tax paperwork.
You've done the paperwork, right?
Yeah, like that's literally all it means. You can be a shitty rescue and have your 501. And Gina's Heart of Gold is proof that you don't need the tax status in order to do amazing work. I mean,
yeah, she does run a great rescue.
She's incredible. I take, because I don't do rehab. I don't have it in me to do rehab. But anytime, if I get a snake call and it's something that I can't release, she's the one usually that I'll bring it to. I don't think the woman's ever told me no. And yeah, she's incredible.
Where's she located?
She's in Houston.
Just north of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, on Facebook, just look up Gina's Heart of Gold Reptile Rescue. She's fantastic. She's usually at the Conroe Herps Expo.
Yeah, come Vin shows.
She usually does all the expos in Houston. I don't think she travels for any of them.
A lot of stuff it shows, though, is there's a few animals, but a lot of it is like just selling supplies that they've gathered over time to try and raise money to take care of the animals that she's taking care of at home.
Yeah. So, and yeah, she does amazing work.
On the same measure, we've all seen people on Facebook who are starting a rescue and then they give you a list of the animals they're looking for. That's a dead giveaway. They're not a rescue. Yep. No rescue's ever been like, I need these animals.
It's like,
they shouldn't be shopping for animals.
No.
Nobody running a legitimate rescue is going on Facebook asking for animals or telling people that they're looking for animals. If anything, they're sitting there going, please God, don't bring me any more animals.
Right. They come out naming ball python morphs. I'm like, what the fuck? That's not a rescue.
Yeah.
You're shopping.
Yeah. I need free animals because I'm poor, and that also tells me you don't have enough money for cages either.
Or to take care of them properly.
Yeah. Or the people that they go out and they get an animal and then they have no plans to eventually rehome said animal after rehabbing it. They're like, oh, I'm going to get this animal and I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to go ask people for donations for their vet bills. Yeah. No, if you can't afford the vet bills, don't take on the animal. That's
continuing on the list, our friend Ashley Howdy over at Focus Cube says, continuing to push the boundaries of enriching reptile keeping more akin to the aquarium hobby. donate enclosures to good causes, including the Ball Python Deep Dive Research Project, Get Buzz for Buzztails, something called Texas Carpetfest,
That's right.
US Arc Auction, and the US Arc Gold member and sponsor. And she's a Patreon member of several podcasts. I don't think she's a Patreon member of mine. Just saying.
I don't know, but I'm glad she mentioned that because they've donated. Take a look at the website seriously because they've made a really generous donation of an awesome 6x2x2 cage.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's really nice. And they don't even know me, right? So I reached out to them out of.
Those two are the nicest people I've ever met.
I know, and I just reached out to Facebook on Facebook and said, "Hey, can you donate something?" And they were like, literally within a day or less than a day, they're like, "Oh yeah, we got the 6x2x2 cage."
Yeah,
like,
Steven,
wow, that's way better than I could have expected. Or
Steven
had
actually
any right to expect. So that's awesome.
They're two of the nicest people and hardest working people I've ever met in my entire life.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, they look like it based on their YouTube stuff and their their social media stuff. And I think I'm going to actually meet them at NARBC this weekend to pick up that cage. But yeah, they were super generous with that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you're looking for cage, come check out Silent Auction.
Yes. Our friend Brandon Millichamp, freaking Canadians. Donate my time and efforts to a nonprofit reptile society, the Alberta Reptile and Amphibian Society. TARAs. Really? That's all you have to come up with? Y'all couldn't figure out a different way to arrange those letters than TARAs. Fucking Canadians. He's the president of that group. We do a lot of advocacy, conservation, education, lots of work, but beneficial to the community in the long run. You know what? I don't trust people that actively go out and eat ketchup flavored potato chips.
Okay, they're actually really
They're not
good.
fucking good. Stop that.
They are delicious.
They're not. If you
They
only
are.
if you have the taste buds of a 6-year-old, are
No,
they good?
they are really good, and you're wrong.
They're actually pretty common in your other parts of the world too. Europe, and the Middle
Doesn't
East.
make it right.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Doesn't make it right.
that's true. Doesn't make it right, but it is fairly common outside the U.S.
I still vouch that they stole poutine. That sounds like such an American dish that it can't be Canadian. I mean, French fries, cheese, and gravy. That's the South right there. There's no way that they stole that.
That just sounds like Mississippi, right?
It
really
you gotta
does.
get that. Stephen Kennedy, who does Steve Snakeshwary, who we had on before, rescues animals. He also does a lot of educational presentations, getting information out there. He's great. That's true. This would be a fun last name. Brett Morzewski. I probably butchered that. Focuses on proper care and helping to educate the community when possible. Do our best to buy supplies and feeders from local small businesses. And most of all, try to learn and grow the hobby. Jordan's Boas said US Arc. Our buddy Nathan said the Orient Society for Indigo Conservation. Mark Anderson said he does help educate the public. And Ash Gelhaus says paid her annual membership to US Arc, United States, which is US Arc Florida, and then responsible reptile keeping. Which I don't know that one. I'll have to look that one up.
I don't know.
But they commented and said thank you on the post, so I have to look up responsible reptile keeping. And then I go back up to this one for Megan. Megan, do you want to see what you said?
Yeah. So I said a few different things. One, I always try to buy my supplies and feeders from local businesses. Around here, Repticulture is typically my go-to. Or vendors that I find at the expos. Also a member of US Arc, which reminds me that I need to renew my subscription. And then I also run my own organization. I'm a one-woman show. I run Lone Star Snake, so I do snake education, free snake relocation in the community. And then
some people help with the free snake location.
I'm not done.
You're saying you're a one-woman show.
For Lone Star Snakes, not the group. Jesus Christ. When does Katie get back?
Not soon enough.
You're telling me. Yes. So I started a local group and it absolutely exploded in the last year. But me and Robert and James and several other people have volunteered in the county to do reptile relocation. And then with the help of Katie and certain other people who are okay. Yes, you. We've started putting on an annual. I can mute
your microphone at any moment.
We've started putting on an annual World Reptile Day event in Brazoria County. It's completely dedicated to reptile education and conservation. So last year we had several different organizations come out, anywhere from snakes, tortoises, turtles, snakes, lizards, everything.
Those are reptiles.
Yeah, thanks.
Could just say reptiles.
Appreciate it. So we raised money last year for the Horned Lizard Conservation Society.
That's
This year we're raising money for Gulf Center for Sea Turtle Research in Galveston.
Whoop, whoop.
I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they're kind of like Sea Turtle Inc. in South Padre. They rehabilitate and rescue stranded sea turtles on the coast. They recover nests from sea turtles, incubate them, and then release them when they're ready. And they're really, really awesome organization. So the goal is every year to pick a new nonprofit that supports native reptiles in Texas. So next year we'll, pick another organization. But we have, them. We've got, food truck shopping, and it's free to the public. And people can leave donations and
feed tortoises.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that we do all year. And then at all my classes, I keep QR codes for certain resources, like particularly for like venomous snake bite resources from like National Snake Bite Support, Rattlesnake Conservancy.
Just don't Spencer Green, you're safe.
Well, yeah, but I mean, for when you're not in the Houston area, maybe you're out camping.
I'd still contact Spencer Green.
Well, I still would too. But I like to provide multiple resources.
Spencer Green.
Anyway, I provide QR codes for people to scan so they can go to like the Florida Snake Bite Institute and get, the venomous bite protocols if they want it. And Asclepius, they released a little book on Amazon earlier this year with what to do if you're bitten by a snake.
You suck the venom out, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And then cut it open?
Yeah. Okay. Tourniquet, ice.
Yeah.
And don't forget our number one, Benadryl.
Yeah, Benadryl takes care of snake bites.
So, in fact, if you actually take Benadryl, you don't have to do anything else.
Take a nap.
You just go home and go sleep. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And fix it.
Yeah, and according to the one guy, it will draw all the blood up into the neck. You remember that? I
missed that.
It was in the Missouri County group. I thought I sent it to you in our chat.
Oh, I'm not surprised that it was there.
Somebody's dog was bitten by a cottonmouth, and he was like, give it Benadryl because then all of the venom will collect in the neck. And we're like, well, then what? Like, what are you supposed to, like, what is the point of this?
Besides, but then what?
I don't think that's how that works anyway. So
explain the biology to that one. I don't understand.
Yeah. Well, then Robert told me that he was one of the newly elected city councilmen for Manville.
Oh, I do remember that.
That all makes sense.
Dumb people do get voted into those positions.
Oh no.
Speaking of stupid things online, I decided to be a troll this week in the Talk of Alvin group.
Yes, I took a screenshot of that.
Fucking hilarious, isn't it?
And I meant to message you and be like, why? Of
like
all
300 comments
all
on it.
The groups that you could try to start shit in, you had to go hard. You had to go and Talk of Alvin. That entire town.
I'm surprised no one's realized that. Like, no one's gone, you're a teacher at the high school here. No one has said that yet. So what I did was, so this is what happens when a city hires tree cutters and not arborists. We have power lines down our sidewalk of our school and big live oak trees. And what they did is they came out and they gave it like the which one was it? Was it Curly that had the hair where it was on the sides and nothing in the middle?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It is they cut
bad.
It's these old live oaks that are now wide. Like it's a Y, and then there's on one side, and then the wires down the middle. And so my post is a picture of multiple trees, and then it says and they tell us that 5G isn't dangerous. This is what 5G has done to these trees. And oh my God, the comments. And I have just leaned into it.
The only reason I'm in that group
is to watch the dumpster fire?
Is for snake stuff, because I actually left it once before because that entire group.
It's a dumpster fire.
It's such a dumpster fire.
That's why I added to it.
I'm like convinced that 90% of that town is on something.
Someone had to approve my post. Someone read my post.
Oh, I know.
And then approved it.
And I'm actually friends with one of the admins, and I kind of want to know.
They had to have only approved it for the humor. There's so many people calling me a moron, saying I shouldn't vote or breed, and I just kept like leaning into it.
The number of people that actually thought you were serious was comical.
Keep blaming 5G and that everybody's just trying to do a cover up, and they're all sheep.
Also, real quick, I really like this Jeff Frederick guy. He says that you should respect me.
Okay, well, that's not right, but he is good. He's the one that designed our new logo, the one up there in the corner. Oh, the Reptile Gumbo podcast logo.
Well, I like him. He seems like a cool dude.
Well, makes a good logo. It just may not be the smartest, apparently. But yeah, so that post was fun. That was my fun. It's like at 300 comments, and people still believe it's real. I just decided I'm going to be a troll for a day, and it's been awesome. I've loved every minute of it.
Yeah, my brain hurt reading that. I took a screenshot, meant to send it to you and be like, why?
That's the same group that I'm surprised Robert and I have not gotten kicked out of yet because of how much we suggest they kill cats whenever there's a stray cat. Not like torture, but we always suggest they kill cats, and everybody loses their shit. Oh, that's right. Curly was the bald one, but was it Mo? It wasn't Mo. Who's the other? Was it Larry?
She's back.
Larry was
Thank
Mo.
God. We missed you.
But anyways, so that was what I did for the week. I upset an entire community.
Yeah, that's great. I already had to leave next door.
Oh.
The shit that
Are we
he's
talking about talk of Alvin?
Yes.
Jesus, Mary and Joe.
I told him I saw his post pop up, and I took a screenshot and I was gonna send it to him and just be like, why? Of all the groups.
Someone like early on the thing was it's not too late to delete this, and I'm thinking, why would I do that?
I have been so concerned for his safety. They're gonna flip their shit when he finds out.
When they find out?
When they find out
No.
that he is a teacher
it's Alvin.
at their high school.
It's Alvin. They're not smart enough to do that much research.
Considering the kind of shit that Alvin ISD doesn't care about.
I've met their kids. I'm not overly worried about the parents. I can say that because they can't figure out how the internet works, so they're also like Oklahoma. They're not listening to this. We're good. Anyways, welcome back, Katie.
Yay! I drove fast, and then I like sprinted up our stairs. I don't know why.
Did you get our kid?
Yeah, she's downstairs. She has, because she doesn't have her phone right now, so she has a list of chores, and I made her say them to me 4 times on the drive home, so I made sure she remembered. Because normally I'll just text her and be like, "Did you do this? This is the next thing. This is the next thing." But she currently doesn't have her phone. Sad day.
Okay.
Not really.
What are the odds she'll complete that list?
Pretty good, actually.
I don't know.
Cool.
They involve her dog. So
Oh, well, that's second.
Yeah, if she doesn't do them, we kill it.
no.
Wait, is that not the? Oh,
Shame.
I thought that was the plan. Is that not the plan?
Lord.
Oh, okay.
No, but I sent him this picture of a blue Great Dane the other day. And do you know what he said to me? Go ahead, we can get one. And I was like, don't you dare get my hopes up like this. That is cruel and unusual.
We can totally get the dog.
And he goes, get rid of the 2 we got and figure out how you're going to pay for it.
Just
Let's
get
go.
rid of
And I
get
was
rid of the other dog.
no.
Let's do a run through of things over on our discussion
I
page.
wondered if you had done this yet.
For some reason, Nathan posted this half naked dude feeding tortoises.
I mean, he's got a nice back. Let's go with that.
I don't understand, Nathan, what you're posting. You post a lot of good
Because
things, but
This is not overly muscular. So I feel like
I
this
was
is
gonna ask. I was
acceptable.
like, was this what prompted your comment on my post? Because I
No,
gotta
I can
say,
tell you what prompted that when we got
I
off the
have a real
podcast.
appreciation for some of the accounts that pop up in my TikTok feed.
anyways, half naked guy feeding tortoises. I don't know why Nathan
Sometimes
posted
it's fun to look at.
that. Travis Wyman posted this one.
That's
Says,
the word for it.
I have not read what. I'm ignoring y'all, by the way.
I'm so glad you're back.
Travis posted that this has been a long time coming, but I'm very excited to say I've just published the work of my undergraduate thesis in the Journal of BMC Ecology and Evolution under the title Ecological Correlates of Cranial Evolution in the what the fuck?
That's
anyway,
so many words.
whoever this Gregory, whatever it is, yeah, he bid his thesis. That's
Okay, every time
confusing as
Travis
fuck.
Wyman shares something to the group, I feel a little
I've
bit
ordered him
less
to get-
smart.
I've ordered him to give us a for dummies
Like-
version of everything, and he doesn't do it.
I feel like I'm a pretty intelligent person until he shares a post, and then I'm like, I feel really inferior.
Well, it's just like, we get it, Travis. You're a doctor, but not the rest of us are. Explain shit. Someone commented on my picture of my rubber roller from like a year ago. Just throwing that out there. For some reason, it popped up here, and there's one with the giraffe playing with a tortoise.
Oh, that was funny, actually. It just like speeds the process up for the tortoise. Like it pushes it on its butt. Like this poor giraffe just wants to go. Like it's like, let's play together. And this tortoise is like, what the hell is happening?
The tortoise like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah. Look, like, and then it gets so excited. The other giraffes are like, dude, what is your problem?
There's a guy I
It's
follow
funny.
on TikTok. Their account is called, I think it's called Goat Daddies.
What? Whoa.
And
Hey,
they-
whoa. Whatever you watch on TikTok is for you and you alone.
They post these baby goat videos of the goats eating, and they have this sulcata tortoise that
Are they also half naked? The guys, not the goats.
no, but they also look like they're probably like a whole decade younger than me, and
God.
I feel really creepy. Like,
You are.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. It's the vibe I'm going for.
They call it a cougar. It's okay. That's accepted if you're female.
Listen, there's like, yes, but I still.
Sorry, my dad posted, some goat daddies here in Alabama. I bet you do.
It's weird because my niece is 14 and she is now of the age where some of our interests in certain celebrities are starting to overlap. And I don't know how I feel about that.
You
So I
should
have to
older guys then.
double check their age to make sure that they're like no younger than 5 years. Like 5 years younger than me.
You want 5-year-olds? What?
No, fuck off, James. Jesus Christ.
What is wrong with you? This is the last time you're not on here.
Oh Lord.
I don't know why I keep agreeing to come on here.
I don't know why I invite you now. Disturbed. Nathan posted a video. I haven't watched this, but of an American Croc. He didn't know they got that large. I used to take care of a huge American Crocs. I mean, they're a big animal, and they get upset quickly. What is this? I'm guessing it's I know it's Ryan Goslow. It's a fossilized spider.
Oh, that thing was huge.
That's cool.
It was huge.
It's a fossil of a giant like tarantula.
One of my kids the other day was reading a book about Goliath bird eating tarantulas. So then, of course, when they came back to my table for small group, instead of actually doing the lesson we needed to do, we literally spent the entire 20 minutes looking up pictures of Goliath bird eating tarantulas and talking about all these cool facts that they learned from their library book. I'm a great teacher, I swear.
So this article that got posted, this guy got fined for going surfing with his 3-year-old Bredl's python.
Okay, so
Because he didn't have the right permit.
Hell is gonna take their snake out into the ocean.
Katie, have you met people?
Obviously, oh my
You've been at the front door of reptile shows.
They bring them in backpacks.
People, I mean, this is just the same thing.
There's one guy that tried to bring his chicken in a backpack to a reptile show.
Why?
Can we talk about that for a minute? Why do
Why?
people, why do they feel the need to take their animals out in public?
I've always said someone needs to explain to them, you're going to a reptile show. All the vendors there will not be impressed by your fucking animal because we already have them.
I'd be more concerned with bringing something home I didn't want to
they're not
on
thinking
my
that far
animal.
ahead.
They don't think that far.
Hello, mite infestation.
I even like taking some of my stuff out of their cage in my classroom, and they live in that classroom all school year.
Yeah.
But when the kids are like, "Oh, can we get out so and so?" Nope, not today. Sorry, I have like a pocket full of excuses, and I just use a different one each time because I don't want to say you're germy, and I don't want you to give.
So in
my
Australia,
animal
you have to have a permit to own reptiles.
So this was in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to have a permit to own reptiles there, and so you got to get the permit. And he went infamous for surfing with the snake
That he didn't have a
that
permit
he didn't have a permit
What a
for. So
dumbass.
now he's facing a fine of $2,322 Australian dollars to $1,495 Australian dollars, somewhere in that range.
What does that convert to?
I don't fucking
me
beep
find
boop beep boop. Don't know. Close
What was
to
that
ours?
again, James?
Beep boop beep. It's computer noises. Duh. I'm assuming close to our money. I can't imagine Australia is that far off from American money. It's not like he's going in like the rupees or something.
I know it's $1,495
Yeah, $1 US is
Yeah.
1.56 Australian dollars.
Oh damn, our money sucks.
Yeah,
Mm.
We really got to fix that.
yeah. Oh my god!
So you mean money counts less now?
Can
That's
you
not
hear
good.
the dog?
Yeah, I can. I'm trying to ignore the dog is barking. So anyways, the lesson here is don't go surfing with your snakes.
I just don't understand why you would want to.
People are stupid. You've met people.
I know. I'm legitimately curious. How does that thought process work?
I did the
Where
math
your
backwards.
conclusion is, let me take
What?
my snake into the ocean. Like they know what lives in the ocean, right?
Is our dollar worth more?
No. No. So like in American dollars, it would be like half of that. Like his largest fine would be like $1,500 in our dollars.
Yeah, their money counts for more than
Yeah,
ours.
yeah.
Oh my God, Robert. Is that Florida group gone or did I get booted?
I don't think any of y'all.
I haven't been booted from a group in a while. Anyway, so going back to what people do for the hobby, when I started this podcast, I know we're not overly serious, but we do get a lot of folks on that I think would not have a voice otherwise, and I learn a lot, so that's a lot of fun. I'd like to say all reptile information out there is good, and it's good to have as much as possible, but we talked about some earlier that's
so bad.
We wish wasn't out there.
What's up, Millie?
She doesn't care about you. She was hoping Robert was up here.
Yeah, well, her tune will change when I leave. She loves me.
She'd be crying right now if you were
we have
Robert.
a 50-pound pit bull mix. I don't actually know what she is.
She's a pit bull. It's not a mix. She's a pit bull.
She's obsessed with Robert. Loves him. It's
Someone's got to.
You are on a tear tonight, sir. And apparently I missed all the craziness.
Well, you can go back and listen to it in 2 weeks when it gets posted.
You know, it's important.
Speaking of 2 weeks from now, no, 1 week. Next week, there will not be a live podcast.
Right. Well, we'll release the interviews we did at
In
Conroe,
Conroe.
which was only 2, but they were good. Like I said, we interviewed our buddy Max because he went to Indonesia and did not get eaten by a fucking Komodo dragon. That's all I ask, is that he goes on one of these trips and gets eaten by a large predator. That's all I want.
No, James.
He's gone to see bears, didn't get eaten.
I would rather he didn't. I enjoy his content.
He's gone to see whales and didn't get
I
eaten.
do too. I like his pictures that he takes.
Yes.
I enjoy conversations.
I
with
live
him.
vicariously through his Facebook posts.
Amen.
All I ask is that he gets eaten by an animal,
Just
and he's yet to do it.
Why don't you
No
go
big
and get
deal.
eaten?
No, I've got this important podcast to do.
Yeah, because if there was a you, this podcast would not exist.
Exactly.
I can think of so many other things to do with my time.
Me and Katie could take it over. We would have
No.
fun.
No,
Katie
Katie has no idea how
would-
this board works.
Nope.
No, it's fine. I'll figure it out.
There's probably 2 of the 4 weeks out of the month where I'm like, how do I get out of the podcast tonight?
I'll take
Not
over
that
for
I don't
James.
enjoy this. It's just that I have too much. There's too much on my plate.
Well, Robert can stay because Robert's nice to me.
And then our kid does too much. She does
Kids
enough
suck.
stuff for like
Kids
7
suck.
people.
They ruin all the fun. Anyways, so our interview in a week will be Max and Tom Harbin, which was an awesome interview. Old school Harper. So that's always fun.
When is the next Conroe show?
January 27th, 28th.
January.
Sadly, you have to wait that long.
We got Austin though in between that and now.
And
So-
Repticon. No. I
You
think
got
I just
Arlington
had
this weekend if anybody
I
wants
think I
to
just
trip.
had a stroke.
The fuck was that?
I
No,
was gonna say Carpet Fest,
Repticon.
and then Repticon came out of my
Because
mouth.
they're so similar.
I think
No.
I had a mini stroke.
Well, there is a
There is a
Repticon.
con, but it's not.
And as it turns out, Repticon is on the 28th.
Oh,
yeah.
So Robert will not be at World Reptile Day now because he has to
Is
work
that the one in
that.
Pasadena?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Gross.
Yep. I mean, because when I was looking at the schedule, I was making sure Reptile Nation and Herps were not on there. I completely forgot about Repticon until he messaged me and I went, well, fuck.
Sucks to suck.
Like, it
but
Be what
no,
it be, I
Austin. We
guess.
have Austin coming up. That's at some point. Let's see. Austin is December 2nd and December 3rd. So that's close-ish to y'all. And then Waco. There's Waco. I've never been to that show, but that's October 21st, 22nd.
and it's Waco. It's
And there's Oklahoma City that don't
Baylor
Is
University, and that's about it.
that where Baylor is?
Mhm.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
All I know is they shot people there. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Crazy people, and they got shot.
Well, Baylor and Magnolia Silos, Chip and Joanna Gaines.
Only thing,
I know what that is.
Nope, only thing Waco's known for.
That's all I
The
got
crazy
there.
people.
bakery there has really good cupcakes.
What? I have no idea what y'all are
The
talking
Dr. Pepper Museum.
It's from.
Is there
I
too?
want to go there.
about. To the Dr. Pepper Museum.
I do.
We could do a girls trip. It's only like 3 hours.
Woo.
Be a really easy day trip.
I think I have some free time in
Waco.
February.
Oh my god. Listen, I'm getting into my busy season at work, and so yeah, no, people will not after World
Michael,
Reptile
I
Day.
laugh
Like y'all
because
will not
it's
see me
sad.
again until after,
Scary.
until New
True.
Year's. Like my whole life revolves around work, starting in October.
Are you going to NARBC, Michael?
I am. Yeah, going to Arlington this weekend.
I wanted to, but then like
It's a good show.
It required money to like go.
No, it requires
You'll
me
see
to
something
drive.
you want.
That's not even. I mean, hotel. They want money at hotels for some reason. They won't let you stay there for free.
Yeah.
And then no one's giving away free gas for your car to drive there.
No.
Which is weird.
I don't need anything anyway. I just got a new snake.
What'd you get?
So I got a glossy snake
picked
Oh, that's
it-
right.
We brought it home
from
for her.
Yeah, it was a small.
Python
It
in a
was,
pear tree.
it was a small colubrid, so I easily forget about those.
Okay, but it's a glossy snake and she's adorable.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
See, Jeff Ryder said the Dr. Pepper Museum is not worth its own trip, but it's pretty neat. So it's not worth it, is what he's saying.
I haven't
mean,
been to the Dr. Pepper Museum.
Bluebell
I'm just
took
like-
me all of 30 minutes. To
Yeah,
see it all
no.
of, but
You're not putting Dr. Pepper on the same level as Bluebell. You're not going to do that. You're not going to downgrade Bluebell to Dr. Pepper.
I like Dr. Pepper
No.
though.
No,
That's
'cause
what I
you
have in this
can
cup.
go drink. Was it Dr. Thunder or whatever? It's a knockoff.
Ew.
There's no knockoff for
So
Bluebell.
gross.
There's no knockoff for Dr.
There's
Pepper.
like 4 million other ice cream people
And they're
out there.
not
It's
Okay,
all
hold on.
knockoffs.
Whoa.
You can't
They
knock off.
also don't make a lactose-free version.
Because they said, fuck it. If you can't eat their ice
Because
cream, shit yourself.
lactose-free ice cream isn't worth it.
I mean, the Ben and Jerry's isn't bad.
It's thank God I'm not lactose intolerant.
Even if I
Okay.
was, I'd still be.
Bluebell Cookie Two-Step is the best ice
It's a
cream
good
in the
one.
world.
I just love
it's
it's
so
the
good.
They make the best cookies and cream.
All right, Michael, what is your favorite ice cream?
I don't know. The mint chocolate chip's probably my favorite. I do like Bluebell.
no. Oh, okay.
Mint chocolate chip.
I thought he was cool.
Come
Look, if
on.
the man likes to eat frozen toothpaste with chocolate in it, let him eat frozen toothpaste
I'm
with
telling you,
chocolate.
come on now.
Every time, so I like to read a lot, and I swear to God, every fucking book I read, the main character's favorite ice cream is mint chocolate chip, as if the author
Maybe
doesn't
read better
realize,
books.
like, why would your favorite flavor be mint chocolate chip when cookie dough exists? I don't
gonna say,
understand.
I love
Cookie
my
dough.
cookie dough.
Cookie dough is good. I like my dad's. Bluebell's the nectar of the gods, and Dr. Pepper is fucking swill,
So our daughter loves the Bluebell cotton candy ice cream.
which you can't find that.
And now we can't find it anywhere for her. And
Yeah, I've
she's
seen that one.
so
Oh,
The
But if
HEB
you-
ones, the HEB brand ice creams are pretty good too. If you're,
they are.
yeah, those
Yeah.
are.
I
speaking
do
of
love
HEB, the E is up. The E
I
is
saw
up
the
on
E.
the
I saw
HEB.
the E was up today. She's
On
like,
our new
Mama, the
HEB.
E's up.
I'm so
They're building
excited.
a new massive HEB. And for those that are not in Texas, it's
It's
For-
amazing.
it
So
is-
excited.
It's really not. But
I
everyone
love
here
it.
goes crazy over it. It's a grocery store.
I don't care if they build anything else in our area. I only have 5 minutes to go to the grocery store now. It's gonna be great.
It's a grocery store. It's an okay grocery store.
It's amazing.
Walmart's cheaper.
What? No, shush.
Walmart's cheaper.
Yeah, but I like the
Walmart.
stuff at HEB better.
Don't you badmouth Walmart?
I hate Walmart.
Then you're a horrible human.
I'm a Target shopper.
Oh, it's because you just like wasting money on purpose.
I wanted to go in Target
much better.
so bad the
No,
other day. And I was
it is-
so good when we went to Michael's. I did not ask you if we could go to Target. And I wanted to go in Target so
You could not
So
get
bad.
more white woman than me. Like, I want to go to Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, and
No, no.
Target. That's
To make it worse,
Great
not
day.
only am I
that
a
is the
Target
trifecta
shopper,
of white women.
I am a Starbucks drinking Target shopper.
Yeah.
I am not ashamed.
If they should put a Chick-fil-A on the other side of it, and white women wouldn't go anywhere else. So it'd be it.
all I need is there.
I can't help it.
I don't
man.
tell Target what I need. It
Target
tells me what I need.
to buy,
Walmart-
and I spend
Yeah.
No,
way too much
Target
money
has never
there.
entertained me the way Walmart has. I go
That
into
is
Walmart,
true.
and it's entertainment every time I'm there. They have what
Walmart's
I
better
need.
people watching, that's for sure.
It is
Yes,
so
they have what I need to buy and things I need to watch.
They have their own website called People of Walmart.
But
I
see,
mean,
I don't like people, so Target
I don't
so
like people either.
Target's
That's why I like to make fun of
perfect
them.
for me.
I love Walmart.
we are so off topic.
It's like going to
We're
Reptile
never on
Expos
topic.
is
oh my god,
going to Reptile Expos is like have a love-hate relationship with it
Oh, I love
because
them.
you're gonna need like
I
a
love-
whole.
I love the animals, but I hate the crowd.
You're gonna need like a
so
whole
much.
day to yourself after Carpetfest.
God.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be.
But see,
fun,
it's not
though.
going to be. It's only going to be like. It's not going to be near as busy as like going to Conroe, and
Oh,
I will
God,
and
no.
I will have friends there. I mean, I have friends at the expos mostly.
And you'll make new friends, which is cool.
yeah,
Well, we're gonna have more space at Carpetfest too. So, and it's
Yeah,
not like
exactly.
It's not gonna be 1,000 people shopping for the newest ball python. Or
Yeah.
for whatever,
I don't
whatever
have to,
else-
like,
whatever they're
try to-
looking
Yeah.
for, so.
Let's show
elbow
ball
people
pythons
out of
for
the
a while.
way.
So ball pythons suck.
Probably shouldn't have brought that up with James, but anyway.
Oh,
But I mean, it's not a
gosh.
bunch. You know what I mean? It's people there that are hanging out to have a good time. It'll be, and you're gonna have plenty of room, and plenty of space. So,
I'm just
but
gonna
I'm
park
with you on the
myself.
expos. Right there is a lot of, like I
Maybe.
want to go see what everybody has and what everybody's selling, and maybe and hopefully find something I haven't seen before. But
Yeah.
at the same time, too, it's like, what are you people doing here?
every time I go to Conroe, I'm like, I'm never coming back to Conroe
Yeah.
because it gets so insane. But every time there's a Conroe show, obviously I'm going to go.
See, it's different for me because I know all the vendors, and so I'm either vending or doing the podcast there, and so I can hang out behind a table. I don't have to hang out with the commoners.
I mean, I know a lot more
With the
people
peasants.
now.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't get their filth on me. I can stand behind the table with
So-
good people.
I wear a fun name badge and people think I'm official. So
I tell you
let's
what
go.
bothers me the most about the expo is when they have these little tiny aisles, and they're made for like one and a half people
worst.
wide, and you got like 3 people wide trying to get through.
Well,
But
you have
it's
one.
like
You have
a
one person that is 3 people wide.
It's
Or
one
that, yeah.
person that is like a size small wide. Let's just
Yeah.
be honest here.
And they're just parked in the middle looking at whatever. they're
Yeah.
looking
Their
at,
hips
nobody
touch
get
the
around
tables
them.
on both sides of the aisle.
Yes.
So-
Okay, so we're gonna put this out into the universe so that maybe it happens.
What?
If our child's volleyball tournament ends early enough that Saturday and you were to ride with someone over there, then perhaps I could leave and come over for Saturday night because my parents will be here.
But what if we don't come and then I don't have a ride back?
No. We would know like the day before,
okay.
so if we could swing it.
You're just like,
Because
fuck it,
she is
you now
No,
live there?
she's a volleyball tournament the weekend before that as well. So I think our dog is spazzing out. So I will have an idea of how long in the day the tournament could potentially last for her team.
I'm just gonna park myself in front of some cool cages and exhibits and just sit there and watch animals.
It's cool.
I feel like probably like 75% of my time will be sitting in front of the snakes.
So that's the problem. Is it's set up well to not be sociable. Like,
no,
Really
it's
is.
it's fantastic.
we're all just gonna be sitting in front of different cages, staring at animals, and no one's gonna talk to each other.
As an
So you can see
introverted
the people
person,
in the
it
cages,
sounds
checking out the
magical.
cages next door, and I just, I mean, to me, it was like the perfect menu because my house, I can't have it in my house. I don't have a house big enough for that. I know Bill Stiegel's done that.
I was like, Bill was supposed to do it again, and hasn't.
Yeah, Bill. In
Then-
fact,
Drop the ball,
Bill.
Bill.
And I talked a little bit about doing one in the spring, and he was like, "Well, I wouldn't be able to do one in the fall anyway." And then Ari's place opened up, and anyway,
I wish we
Um,
had something like that out here for Reptile Day because shoot, if I lived out there, I would definitely be becoming BFFs with Ari to try and hold it there.
yeah, it just for me, it seemed like the natural location, right? I mean, because even if even if you don't want to hang out with people, come look at the stuff, man. Ari's got a great collection out there. It's an amazing setup. So to me, that's worth the trip in and of itself. So it seemed like the natural location. So I was glad that he and I could work something out, and we are looking to make that an annual event. So
Well, and it's going to be great for them because every single one of us is going to go home and we are going to tell all of our friends about Reptilandia.
I'm not telling anybody.
So,
We're gonna quit talking about it. No one mentions the place anymore.
well,
Well, we're on
I'm
fall
going to
break
tell
the
everyone
next
about
month.
it.
So like when you come home, you don't have school the next week because we're on fall break.
Fall break. I keep thinking
great.
Thanksgiving break.
Yeah, no, thanks.
And we're going to
break,
Troy.
We're already booked.
There's a fall break now.
We do. We get a whole week off in October, which I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
We didn't
as
get it
a
last year. This is the
teacher.
first time. So now we get it.
Well, we had it in
Okay.
Louisiana, and by the middle of October, our brains are pretty much fried. So it's nice to kind of
I'm
recharge.
glad you think it's by the
before
middle of October.
The crazy.
Mine was 2 weeks ago.
Mine was 2 weeks ago. I've actually contemplated taking this Friday off.
Contemplating
every
quitting
day
every
this
day.
week. No, I don't want to quit.
You don't want to quit. I want to quit
I just
every
want a
day.
day in my house without you and Joe, so that I can do what I want.
I'm all for a day without you.
Careful.
Getting a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Megan, would you like our child for a weekend? Like you could just have her and you can put her to work and child labor is free. And
Does she fold laundry?
No.
no,
Oh.
I'm the only one.
You know
in
what?
this house
That's
that
okay.
folds
My
laundry.
my husband folds laundry. I'm that person. Like I'll take it out of the dryer and I leave it on the bed and I wait for him to fold it. 'Cause I don't.
You can
fold
look at me like
laundry.
it's not I'm waiting for you to fold it. I'm not going to fold it.
Oh, I'm not going to fold it. I have laid there while he's folding it. He's like, you could help, and I'm like, I know.
I'll pick it out of a clean pile of
he'll
clothes
just
for
put
3
it
days.
out
though.
of the clothes.
Yeah, that's the way that I am.
They live in the recliner.
I don't know how to fold a shirt.
I don't. I
You don't know how
hate.
to hang up a shirt either.
I know how
hate
to
it.
hang up a
and
shirt.
I'm
She's
an
not there.
enabler, and I just do it for you.
See? Works out great.
But see,
now
I
I can
cook
get you
for
clean snake
him.
cages.
No,
I'm not going to clean
Oh.
snake cages.
then we will sell them.
Shit.
Don't remind me that I need to clean snake cages.
I need to clean snake cages. I need
And I
to,
really don't want to do it.
hey, one of my my last ball python babies finally ate.
Yay!
You know, because I hate ball pythons, but I have the stupid three stupid babies, so I can prove that anybody can breed fucking ball pythons.
Yeah, I was really confused by the ball python clutch from the person always shitting on ball
So were we.
pythons.
Yeah, I didn't know it was coming either.
I'm very surprised about the ball
I never saw them.
That was
do
all
anything.
python breeder.
Well, I've said it. I'm just like Justin Kabilka. He and I are the same.
Same thing.
Same thing. Tony, I got 3 eggs anybody can fucking do it. It's not
And
that
they
hard.
made it. They made it and they hatched. Like, I don't even know.
Now the odds.
How many
of
worlds
fucking-
first?
Yeah.
all three of them.
Yeah, right.
I took care of Danny's ball pythons for like 6 months when she had to move out of her house, and
These are quintuple hets.
it was great taking care of all her snakes. But ball pythons are not my species.
Neither are they.
They don't do anything.
No.
I don't know. I got a banana in there. A pot. What is it? Pastel banana that you can go try. He'll do stuff.
Good. I like my colubrids.
I mean, he'll bite you. That's the only stuff he does.
The very first
my
snake ever was a ball python, and I'm so old that back when I got a ball python originally, there were no morphs. You just
Yeah.
got a ball python.
And did it die? Did it
No,
starve
I
to
had that
death?
snake for a long time. I had him
Okay.
for like 17 years or something. I had him for a long time.
So many of them starved to death.
So no, he was a fussy eater, but no, I had him for a long time.
I thankfully have a collection of garbage disposals. So
That's why I like boas. If a boa
Everybody
doesn't eat,
likes
something's
to
wrong with
eat.
it.
Did we go through the question on Facebook?
We did.
we did,
Okay,
yes.
cool. Did we
I have
talk
some
about?
blackheads, and the blackheads are great for that because they'll eat anything at any
Did you get
time.
them? Did you get them from Jim?
I got 2 from Jim and 2 from Derek Roddy.
Oh, okay.
So
So
I
did we-
want one. They're not in my budget, but a girl can
they're
dream.
pretty awesome. They're great.
think
I
James
actually really like
dreams
them, and
about
they're
them,
awesome
too.
garbage disposals because they will eat whatever you put in front of them.
Did we talk about? And this could just be me because I don't know a lot of people in the business. Did we talk about what you do for a living, or is this what you do for a living? Like, do you do reptile stuff?
Oh no, I don't do this for a living. I would be glad if I made enough money to keep them fed. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
No, I'm a paramedic. I work for a small agency in Central Texas. So
I knew that.
You knew that. I told you
me
that.
this.
Yeah,
because
that's why as you were asking, I'm like, we had this conversation.
we did.
yeah,
we
in
did.
fact, I'm actually on duty tonight. I'm actually in my classroom, but I managed to get a cover.
It's
cover-
why-
Yeah,
it's why it
he
looks
had
like-
this entire conversation about how you had to have coverage.
It's why it looks like he's stealing free library Wi-Fi right now.
Right? Yeah, that's our classroom. yeah.
The book return is behind that door. That's
Yeah, promise I'm not in the public library. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
This old
What-
lady's been trying to shush him out of there for a while now.
So I never knew the difference between an EMT and a paramedic. And one of my best friends is a firefighter who just graduated with his paramedic, whatever. He graduated from paramedic school.
Gotcha.
And I told him
Parachute school.
about, shut up. I told him about a friend of mine, and I was like, he's like you 2.0, and he's an EMT. And then I got a phone call 10 seconds later so that he could give me the entire spiel and all the differences between an EMT and a paramedic that I did not ask for. So, but
it's largely the scope of practice. It's what we can do. It's what you've been trained to do. It's,
yeah, it seems pretty
obviously
cool.
it's a-
I mean,
Yeah.
apparently, he can stab me with a pen to help me breathe or something. I don't know.
I would
I
imagine
can stab you.
paramedics can do more than EMTs can.
That's
Yes.
correct,
Okay.
Yeah.
I can,
Yeah,
I can stab you and I don't have any
the
of that.
gist.
Yeah.
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 EMT basic is generally about a 3 to 4, maybe a 4-month course. So it's a fairly basic. It's kind of advanced first aid kind of provider. Paramedic is usually some of the advanced courses are a little over a year. Back when I took it, it was a 2-year course. So it's closer to associate's degree level. But yeah, your scope of practice is really where what you can, you can do more. You can administer more medications, do more procedures, do more interventions in the field.
We had a crazy day.
And yeah, some people
yesterday.
get
Yeah, they can do all the things,
Yeah.
and the EMTs cannot do all the things. So
That's correct. Yeah, that's a better way to do it. Yeah, medics
Darren
can do all
wants
the
to know-
things. EMTs have to.
Darren wants to know which one sucks out the snake venom.
Hopefully neither, but
I can tell you, this is not shitting on EMTs, but I'm going to tell you, it can't be that fucking hard. Because I was at a hospital once and I saw an EMT come in and it was one of my ex-students. He was a fucking moron.
There you go.
And then I'm like, someone let this guy technically save lives. And I'm like,
Yeah,
he barely has his shit together. How is he saving?
oh my
he's providing direct patient care to somebody somewhere tonight. Probably.
The moment I saw that, I was like, this can't be a hard job to get. They've got to be hard up for EMTs.
We also made it a point to figure out what ambulance service he was driving for, so we knew if we never needed a call, we
They have low standards. Don't go with them.
Can I get another
The-
ambulance, please?
The last thing I need.
I taught him
is
biology
him to
and-
be what is responsible for saving that.
I had a kid a couple weeks ago tell me how they I don't even know why I need biology. Yeah. I was like, what do you want to be? I want to be an EMT.
It will help.
What are you
Pretty
talking about?
important.
Human bodies. Like that's
It'll prove useful. I promise.
Okay, so I would like to know what all you are breeding. Is it, and like, do you like regularly breed, or is
Well,
just kind of like occasional
snakes do it.
projects?
I'm more an
Stop, James.
occasional projects at the moment. Next year, I'm hoping to have a bigger year. I actually didn't put anything together this year. I just had too much on my plate, too much to worry about. Next year, I'm hoping to maybe put a pair of the blackheads together. I haven't decided on that yet, but I am hoping to do diamonds and Brettles and jungle carpets next year. So
That's cool.
What kind of jungles do you do? Any certain lines or?
I have a ridiculous number of lines. I got about 16 of them in the house right now. So, but I have several from Martin Rosemond. If you're familiar with him, Martin Morelia. I have several from him. I'm going to put some of his different lines. I'm going to do some crossbreeding and outbreeding with those next year is my hope.
Is a line similar to a locale?
No, a line is line.
No, it's a line bred for particular color or particular phenotype or a particular pattern or something like that. So, and jungle carpet python breeders can be a little picky about their lines. So it's kind of a big deal in that.
And none of them look like wild jungle carpet pythons.
Oh gosh, no, not at all.
So it's like when you are looking for call or
No.
that's
so
different?
that's
Oh,
totally different genes. This is because at some point jungle carpets came in, and then people realized this one looks slightly different than that one, and so they went in that direction. And this guy went slightly different than that one, and so now you have like highlighter yellow ones, and you have ones that are like white and black, and then you have ones that have really clean patterns, and then you have ones that someone just put their name on it, and so now it's their line, even if it's the same as somebody else's.
Okay.
Genetics and morphs make my head spin. Like my thing is native snakes. So people like if people ask me about morphs, I'm like, it's pretty.
Yeah, no.
Everybody, that's what I'm going.
And it's expensive, and that's all I know.
Everybody's thought is that jungle carpets are yellow and black. I'm like, go look at a wild one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The yellow and blacks are a really good example of what line breeding will produce in, over a generation or over, 20 or 25 years. Because you look at the yellow and black ones that are here in the hobby in the US and they look nothing like what you're going to find in Australia. So we've taken those yellows and those blacks and we've brought all of that out, and everything else is kind of faded into the background.
And they're so pretty,
and possibly
they're gorgeous.
And possibly a mixed diamond python in there at some point.
I have a couple.
That's one that I can never have.
Yeah, the diamonds are nice. They're really
that's an awesome pretty
name. Yeah, they're really great. I have 2.2 of those, and they're probably still another year away from, my females are probably still another year away from breeding. Unfortunately, my males are ready, but the females probably got another year to go. But they're so pretty, and they don't have any of the nippiness that some of them really get a reputation for. They're much more handleable and docile, and they're really great display animals. And the diamonds, I actually wish I had more of the diamonds, but they've become so expensive lately that I kind of have what I have. So
that's if I had all the money in the world, snake.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't married to an accountant.
Just own a speckled king snake. It's our version of a diamond python.
I need one. I don't have one.
You can get one from Jim Sargent. He's got babies right now.
Oh, the speckles? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Jim's great, by the way. Yeah,
He is so wonderful.
Wait, that's who you got yours from?
Oh,
right?
that's where my speckle came from, and she's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Robert's getting one from him too.
That's Split Rock Reptile, right? Yes. His business card is tucked into my mirror in my bathroom because every time I go to an expo, I drool over his black-headed pythons.
Yes.
His Swiftline blackheads are fucking amazing.
The Azanthic that he had at the last expo that I was at, I was like, maybe. And then I saw the price tag and I went, no. But God, it's pretty.
The Xanthics are tough because they're obviously pretty pricey right now, right? And Jim and Derek and Jason are probably the only guys that are probably, maybe Casey Lasik, I'm not sure. But it's not a ton of guys breeding those right now. So they're going to keep that high price tag for a while too, unfortunately. So, but the Xanthics.
Oh, hey Jeff, how are you doing?
Really
What's up,
nice.
friend? See, I told you I liked him.
Like I said,
what do you know? I have an available home.
There you go.
I love my speckled king. They're an underappreciated snake in our hobby.
Man, it's awesome that you have a wife that pushed you to buy that snake.
Mine is like solid yellow, clean belly, and super bright yellow speckles.
I told him, I said, you either come pick up the one you want or I pick out one that I like.
Yours is one of the most gorgeous ones I've ever seen.
I love that snake.
It's so stunning.
I told him, I said, I already paid the man for the snake, so you may as well go pick the one you want.
But like we're a country where we're very much on like we want the exotic animals, and there's some of our stuff that is so much cooler than some of the things in other countries. The speckled king snake is on that list of things that we have. It's really cool. Now, look, we give the respect to the indigo. That's a really cool fucking snake compared to any other snake in the country. But like, I love rubber boas, and I don't think rubber boas get enough respect in this country.
They really don't.
Probably not. Yeah.
Mm-mm. I mean, I feel that way about. I feel that way about a lot of native snakes in the U.S. And that's my. I mean, I do keep I keep Australian pythons, but the majority of my snakes are U.S. natives, and I mean, they're just really cool fucking snakes. They're so underrated, and they just don't get enough appreciation. So it's like I love the exotic snakes, but my passion, hands down, is U.S. native snakes. They're so cool.
I think my Louisiana pine snakes are great. Like you hold something that's that much muscle and that texture is so cool
The
to hold on
texture
to.
is what I like on those.
Yeah.
I love the Australian stuff, but I think there's a lot of really good. I think you're right. I think there's a lot of really good colubrids out there, particularly stateside, that are not getting the attention they deserve. I used to Trans-Pecos rat snakes when I was a kid, and I kind of still wish I had some of those because I think that's another one.
I want one of those too.
I
Yeah,
feel
I
that
think
way
that's
about
another-
lizards too.
What's that?
Oh.
We have a lot of really cool lizards.
Oh,
and
absolutely,
dogs
yeah.
in the United
What?
States.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand why Chuck Wallace haven't caught on. Bearded dragon.
I don't either.
I
Like the
don't
American
either. They're
bearded
so
dragon, right?
cool.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is. And I didn't even realize, like, the first time I saw one, James was like, yeah, these are native to our country.
Mhm.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, and they come
they're
in colors.
freaking
Like
cool.
they're not. The problem is you only ever see like some boring like wild caught ones at
Mhm.
shows, but you can find reds and yellows, like bright
Mhm.
colors. And it's our version of a Eurymastix or a bearded dragon.
We
Like,
also have the desert iguana, which is native
Yeah.
to the United States. I don't know of any breeders working with them. I know E Squared Exotics occasionally gets in some. And I know like they're working with Chuck Wallace as well.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I told Elise next time they get a desert iguana in to call me because I really, really want
I
one.
just want a Gila monster.
What's the little lizards that live in our front yard?
Oh, those are brown
we've
anoles.
got a knoll.
Those are brown anoles.
Brown and
Yeah.
There are so many of those
Mhm.
suckers.
They've grown. They've gotten bigger. I've watched
in
them
my
get
yard.
bigger.
They are constantly running across our little sidewalk between our house and our
Yeah,
driveway.
I think those are
There's-
the ones that are invasive, right? I think those are the ones that are not.
Those are
native.
the Cuban ones. Cuban
No,
brown
there's
anoles are.
That's
I'm not
you think Cuban. There's the night anoles. That's different. Those little brown anoles. Those
Well,
Cuban brown anoles.
well, we have some
No. There's the Cuban brown anole, and then there's the actual like
Mediterranean geckos.
the native anoles, which can be
Those are green
brown.
anoles.
They
Yeah,
can
no,
be
no.
green or brown.
The brown anoles have the little stripe on their back.
Well,
yeah.
the green ones can have the stripe too.
Yeah,
depending on-
all of ours are brown anoles.
Yeah, I've got like 7 or 8 of them that are living in my front yard, and I open my front door in the morning, and they just like scatter like they've been having a meeting of the minds on the porch.
Yeah, ours do that.
I want a little. I was gonna ask Robert if he could make me a little sign that says like lizard crossing that I could put by my front
Our
door.
problem is the little fuckers will climb up the window, and we have a
Mhm.
camera in the window, and they'll set our camera
Oh yeah,
off.
it goes off all the time.
And you open up the camera, and it's just an anole stuck to the glass right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I have there's a little Mediterranean house gecko that was living in my wreath on the front door, and I didn't know about it until it launched itself into my house.
I agree with Darren. Collared lizards are a really pretty
Oh,
one.
collared lizards
you're
are
right.
so cool.
Those are great too.
Um,
That's another
Haven't-
one comes in
haven't
nice
seen
colors too,
one.
right? So,
yeah.
Haven't seen one in the wild yet. I looked the last time I was.
But then there's cool native stuff that we can't have. Like I think desert tortoises and
Yeah.
Texas tortoises would be awesome.
I wish I could have a Texas tortoise, but you have like the process to get a permit for one is exhausting.
I wish you could breed and sell them because we could try and replace sulcatas in the fucking hobby with
Mhm.
Texas tortoises. It'd be so much better.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
there are way
anyways,
too many sulcatas out there, that's for sure.
way too many sulcatas. And
Every
I
time
have
somebody
some.
talks about having baby sulcatas, I'm like, why? There's a tortoise rescue in here in Pearland, lonesome tortoise rescue, and then there's also Central Texas Tortoise Rescue, which is out in like Austin, like between Austin and San Antonio, and the majority
They're
the majority
interesting
of
because one of
yeah,
our
the
local firefighters, that's his
Mhm.
mom that runs that Central Tortoise.
oh okay.
Oh, cool.
Well, the majority of the tortoises that they get in are also sulcatas. If I had the space, I mean, technically, I guess I could have the space for one, but I don't really want to reinforce my fence. But
I didn't
Surprised
reinforce
you didn't
mine.
bring
What?
up the terrapins.
Oh, we already talked about that last week.
Oh yeah.
When we
But
did.
that's-
as old news. Not that I would know because
I mean, Diamondback
the-
terrapins.
the episode
are
hasn't been
the
posted.
number one
You know what? If you watched it live,
turtle.
You
that
would
I
know.
like.
I
to
was
have.
busy.
learn to watch this thing live. Like all 5 people that are watching it right now.
I was busy.
Anyways, I got to go print more cut out more
So
little
you gotta go
Chris's,
cut the more stickers out.
and then find someone to take them to NARBC for me because I'm not going to NARBC.
Well, talking about supporting the hobby, that's another good way to support the hobby too, right? Talking about Chris. So
Yeah.
that's somebody that's in the hobby. So
Help out that
If
peg
you
leg
haven't done that
bastard.
yet, that's a good worthwhile venture.
So if you are at NARBC, find Corey Martin
Yep.
and get you a sticker, and know that I've touched it. I've touched Chris,
My God.
little 5-inch Chris.
Oh.
What? I don't understand. We're talking about stickers. What do you? I don't. What's wrong?
Michael, if people want to get a hold of you, how would they go about doing that?
Really, I do Facebook and Instagram. You can look up, Michael Taylor, but you'll find several of them. So you may have
I was going to say there's like 5,000 Michael Taylors on Facebook.
I'm familiar. Yeah.
If they want to
Blessing
get more,
and a curse. So sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's not. So.
if they want to get more information about the event, where can they find that?
TexasCarpetfest.com. We do have a Facebook page and we also have an Instagram page. So I encourage people to check that out. And please come on out and take a look, man. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be, if you're in the reptile community, it's going to be a nice way to meet people face to face, be nice people to hang out and have a good time. Nobody's hawking anything or selling anything. We're going to have a silent auction trying to generate some funds through US Art. And you're going to get a chance to see Ari's new zoo. So,
yeah, and don't be afraid to come. I a lot of newer people in the hobby are afraid to talk to other people in the hobby.
I ain't afraid to talk to nobody.
No, I know that. But a lot of newer people will be afraid to talk to even, and it's weird. Even like myself or you or Robert, because we have a podcast. I promise we're not famous and we're not we're not. But they'll hear names in the hobby and they'll treat those people.
Normal is a setting on the dryer. Let's just move on.
But they'll hear those names in the hobby, the big names in the hobby, and then they'll think that they're unapproachable.
You know what's funny is when we went to the last Carpet Fest.
Y'all keep interrupting Michael, and it's very rude.
No, I was just gonna say I'm biased with the Morelia community. You mentioned it a little bit earlier too, but I think there's enough people in the Morelia community, particularly Owen and Eric and Scott Borden and Brandon Wheeler and so many other people out there that are really approachable. And if you just reach out and talk to those guys, they'll answer your questions. Yeah. But I think you're right. I think that people sometimes get intimidated and they're like, oh, I don't want to ask. I don't want to look like a dummy. I don't want to look like a whatever. But I think in the Morelia community particularly, I think if you reach out and ask questions, there's somebody out there that'll help you out. So
I always tell people, every single one of us was new to this hobby at one point. There was a time where we didn't know shit. We didn't just wake up knowing what we do.
I've always known everything.
And I think it's easy to get intimidated because you got so many people on social media that have, done a really good job of bringing a bad name to the hobby in some ways.
It's not even that. So there's so many people that don't understand how small our hobby really is. Mm-hmm. That when they hear these big names, they're not fucking big names. They're big names to us in the hobby. But
within a niche of a niche, right? Within the niche of reptile keepers, and then within the niche of whatever they're breeding, right? Bob Vu
is not famous worldwide. Yeah. He's famous in the reptile hobby. Justin Kabilka is famous in the reptile hobby, right? We talked. I mean, why did my brain just go blank? It'll come back to me later. But anyways, all these names that you hear on podcasts or all these social media things, they're just people. And if they come to an event like Carpetfest, they're there to hang out and talk to people.
They're there to be normal.
I watch people when they go up to Ed and Emily from Snake Discovery. Ed and Emily are just people. They're two people, but you'll see people go up to them and they think of them as these big famous people. I'm like, I've gone to eat dinner with them. They're just people.
It's funny you brought that up. So in my classroom, I have a bunch of random pictures hanging up, and last year I started a zoology club at our school, and we have a picture of our daughter with Emily. She was at a Conroe show. We had just met them in Tinley. We ate dinner with them and the group of people that all went to dinner together. And I had sat next to her at the table and we were just chit-chatting. So when we saw them in Conroe, she remembered me. And I was like, oh, my daughter watches your show. She's like, let's take a picture. And I was like, you're at the expo. You go do your thing. We don't have to take a picture with my kid. She's like, no, let's do this. So we took a picture, printed out, had it hanging on the wall. I had students lose their mind when they saw her picture on my wall. They're like, your daughter got to meet. And I'm like, yeah, Emily's really cool. We had dinner together. You ate dinner? Lose their freaking mind. These and oh my gosh. I've seen adults flip out like that too. But these kids, these 9-year-olds lost their shit. It was hilarious. And I'm like, y'all, she's a person.
Yeah.
She's a normal person. They're like, but
Yeah, they're famous.
I'm
I mean,
like,
well, like so also the name I think earlier that is Nick Mutton. So Nick Mutton, if you're a carpet person, is all over everything. If you say two words to Nick Mutton, he'll talk to you for 3 hours. Like it's
Yeah, try getting on the phone with him. Try getting off the phone with him. Yeah.
dude will talk forever. Like he's not.
Yeah.
He's
and
not.
You think he's a good example, right? You think he's a big deal, right? Because he literally wrote the book, right? Him and Justin wrote the book. But like I've purchased a couple animals from him, and you call him, and he'll be like, "Well, just give me a call." And then like an hour later, you're going, "Okay, well, you're still talking to him." And he's really generous with his time. And I think, I should have mentioned him earlier, but I think you'll find a lot of people like that in the carpet community. And part of it, I feel like we get hung up on some of the knuckleheads on YouTube and that are bringing a bad name to the hobby. To me, part of Carpetfest is trying to bring people together and maybe focus on some of the good.
See, and then I feel bad because I'm like, what if James introduces me to somebody and I should know who this person is, and I really don't have a clue. And like at the last Carpetfest,
but they're not famous.
No. But like you've talked about them, or you listen to their podcast, or you've mentioned a project, and I'm like, I just don't pay attention, so I don't remember. Like I don't let that stuff take up space in my brain because there's too many other things going on right now. Like when we were at the last Carpetfest, I don't even remember who it was, but we talked to somebody and they walked away, and I'm like, their voice sounds really familiar. And you're like, it's because that's the podcast we listen to when we're driving back and forth between herp shows.
Was it Justin?
It may have been Justin, actually.
It's probably Justin.
Now I'm going to feel really bad.
Who we hung out with for a large part of the night.
We're friends on Facebook, and now I feel really bad because I think it was Justin. But like, sorry, Justin.
Probably Justin or Rowan, because they have pretty distinct voices, right?
But like I'm like, this voice sounds familiar. Why do I know this voice? And James is like, we literally listen to their show every freaking week, and I'm like,
that's what cracks up is how many people.
That's who I fall asleep to in the car. Gotcha. Like, because I'm like, he has a very soothing voice. I follow.
That's what cracks me up is when people talk to Chris like Chris is famous. I'm like, really? It's just a fat dude now with one leg.
And I'm like, I picked him up from the airport. Does that make me famous by association?
Listen, don't feel bad. I'm terrible with names.
Oh, God.
I really am.
But it's just like I said, go to this thing. Just like I say, go to every show you can. Go to anything where you can be social, and just talk to people, because people want to talk about reptiles. If they're there, they want to talk about reptiles. I mean, that's the whole thing.
Well, I think most people you meet in your daily life, you start talking about reptiles, and it takes about 30 seconds for their eyes to glaze over and for them to wander off to something else. Like, how long is he going to go on talking about his snake collection?
That's
this is a place where you come and talk. You can talk all day.
Yep.
These are the people that want to hear about your snake collection. They want to hear about what you're breeding. They want to hear about what decor or purchase you put in your cage.
Just don't bring your
animal. Yeah. Yes, please don't bring your animal. Ari's got plenty of cool animals to look at. Please leave your stuff on.
Yeah.
It's always weird switching gears between my reptile friends and my non-reptile friends.
Yeah.
And anytime non-reptile people ask me about snakes, my first response is, okay, how interested are you in the answer? Because we will be here a while.
Yeah.
Do you want the 1 minute answer, or do you want the cliff notes, or do you want the
I mean, somebody asked me one time, like, why do you like snakes so much? And I'm like,
why not?
Not really the question you want to lead with.
Simple.
How much time do you have?
Yeah.
So if you're in there, if you're not in there, make a trip down, come to it. It's worth it to just come see Reptilandia. I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen the pictures, and I know it's worth that.
It's so cool.
And then on top of that, you have the big event where you can hang out with everybody and get to meet people. I will hopefully be there, and I'll sign autographs. It's cool. I mean,
James,
we can set you up a little table or something if you want. You can do stickers and
encourage
autographs.
this behavior. Do not encourage this behavior. I have to live with this ego.
Like I said, it's very weird when we're at a show and someone goes, "I listened to you," and I'm like, "Thanks."
Okay.
And then I'm like, I think back to myself, what is wrong with that person? Why the fuck do they listen to me?
So that is 100% what I think of when people tell me, they're like, "Oh yeah, we listen to you on the podcast." I'm like, why? Do you have nothing better to do with your time? Like, we are the most spastic people to listen to, but that's what they want. They're like, you're personable.
You guys are personal, and your podcast is different. And you guys probably hear this all the time, but your podcast is different from the other because it's a little less of a format. It's a little less of a, we're going to do A, B, C, D, and E, and that's
it's not
a
very
casual.
Less structured, I guess, if you will. So yeah, no, I listen to you guys a lot, and I listen to the NPR guys. I listen to THN guys. There's actually a lot of cool podcasts out there, and if you're, when you're cleaning your cages or something, that's great to have on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad because, and I've said this before, since I started the podcast, I listen to less podcasts. So I don't listen to Eric and Owen as much anymore. as much as I would like to. I don't get to listen to Jacob and Chris. It's Chris, not Chris. Although he is on there every now and then too.
With that being said, though, since we've moved to Texas, we are a lot busier. And
we don't have long car drives.
We don't
much
have
anymore.
we used to take 3 to 4 hour car rides
from Louisiana to everything in Texas.
And we don't have those car rides anymore. That's when you listen to your podcasts because you listen to them on like 1.5 speed. So you get through them fast.
Yes, I do.
And
Take a 3-4 hour car ride to Johnson City.
that's right.
Yes. So
Sounds like a plan.
all right.
Well, I will be there. Danny will be there.
I
We'll
will
be
hopefully be there.
We'll be the ones with the expert RBF, but we're actually really friendly. So unless your name is James, but
I'm super friendly, so friendly I'll sign autographs.
Oh my God.
$5 an autograph, but still I'll sign them. Come up, say hi.
Oh.
I'm gonna try and get Robert there. Robert, I know wants to see Reptilandia, so I'm hoping I can get him there.
I think he said he was 50-50. Is there anything we can do to get him over the hump?
well, he didn't tell me that he was 50-50. He's the one that brought up sharing an Airbnb.
Well, I think that
Oops.
definitely plays into the option of whether or not he's going to go.
Money always plays a big role in for any of us having to go. So
yeah.
and a lot of us don't know our money situation until it gets here,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's fair.
But I want to try and be there. That's my hardest. And if it's only me, then it's way cheaper.
Maybe me too.
But what are you gonna do with our kid?
My parents will be here
Then why are you staying here at all?
because I feel like I should go.
Okay, but she's like 12. Like that's like the legal age where she can stay home by herself, right?
I
For
can't
Gen
leave
X,
her
it was
here
like 6.
overnight.
I don't know. I don't know.
I used
Like
to walk,
what
I
is
used to walk
safe?
home.
I mean,
Walk
I
home
leave
in
her
the
here
first
when I go to the
grade. So
grocery store because
Same.
the dog will scare off people. But
holy
I can't
fuck!
leave
I
her
think about that now.
overnight.
That would have been like 6 years old.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That I walked home alone, stayed home for like 2 hours waiting for parents to get
You
there.
let yourself in.
Made my own food. I mean, I made like
Yep.
bagels,
She'll be fine.
pizza bagels.
She'll be
like,
all right.
Yep.
Damn.
We did the same thing. Yeah.
We turned
6,
out
7 years
okay.
old, you had your own house key. You know how to make food for yourself. Absolutely.
Ate so many mayonnaise sandwiches.
That is
Ew.
so our child face.
They're-
You can't criticize my mint chocolate chip if you're eating mayonnaise sandwiches. Come on now.
That is so
I'll still eat a mayonnaise
gross.
sandwich. I don't give a shit what anybody says. But it was easy to make. I mean, we make pizza bagels like before bagel bites. Actual like
You had a
bagels.
toaster oven, didn't you?
I had a toaster oven,
That's awesome.
and I was allowed to use a toaster oven. And I had pizza, I had bagels and pizza sauce and pepperoni and cheese. I'd make my own pizza bagels or mayonnaise sandwiches. I could go for a mayonnaise sandwich.
Or you can bring her, but I don't know how many kids will be there. So I know there'll be a few, but I don't know.
I'm not bringing my kid. I want to have fun.
Okay. Well, all right. Then. My bad.
Talking about you. You hit me like a kid. Talking about you. Nope, be quiet. You're not on the podcast. All righty. So go check out that. Megan, if you want to get a hold of you, how can I get a hold of you?
Lone Star Snakes on Facebook, also Instagram, but I only post on there like once every 4 months.
What a loser.
So,
I don't even have an Instagram, so
If you want to get a hold
I'm
of
an
us,
old lady.
is the Reptile Gumbo podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and at gmail.com. You can reach out to me. I've got some boas for sale. If anybody wants to buy some boas, because I give you some money. You can check me out on Simply Serpents on Facebook and simply _serpents, I think. Or maybe that's my login. Anyways, Simply Serpents on Morph Market too. And then I'll have some Mexican rosy boas at some point. As soon as I posted pictures of my Mexican rosy boa babies, and like I immediately got 3 messages. Are these for sale? I'm like, dude, I just said they were just born. I haven't thought
like
that far.
literally they were only like 12 hours old.
I was like, but immediately like, will you sell them? And then one person who I know contacted me, and I knew the moment they contacted me for sale, I'm like, this is a waste of a conversation because I'm not going to be selling them to you the price you want.
Okay, that was kind of me though with what's his name? Michael.
With Michael.
So, Pythons in a Pair of 3.
yeah.
Pair
Pair of
3.
three? The old
Pair,
pair of
pair of
three.
3. Blah. I'm tired.
That's another one. That's another one. Michael
He
Pinnell.
was so excited that you were getting that snake though, because he knows how much you
Aw.
appreciate that species.
But-
I saw and I saw it and I was like, I didn't know like how popular, like, because you can't find them. Like there's not even any on Morph Market. He's the only
nobody
breeder I
wants
know
them?
working with them. So when I saw
That's
him,
like
I just like I jumped
colossal
on it
snake?
Flossie snake.
and I'm like, are they?
Okay.
I'm like, are they available? When will they be available? Like, is there a wait list? I'm like, give it to me.
So Pinnell's another one. So if you ever listen to NPR, for forever you always hear about M-Pen carpet
M-Pen line.
pythons. And,
Yep.
yeah, and it's that line and it's on there. And so everybody does that. And the first time, I think maybe the second time I've been to a show for herps, I looked on the vendor map and I saw that I was right next to pythons in a pear tree. I was like, oh shit, I know that one. And then I met him. I was like, well, it's just Michael. I'm like, that's not Fuck, it's not- he's
I
not-
think
he's
my
not
male-
special.
I love him so much.
I think my male children's python is from him. It was a rehome,
Mhm.
but based on the information they gave me, I'm
Probably.
pretty sure
He
that's
does
where
them.
he came from.
He's
Yeah,
got
well,
a lot
his-
of really cool stuff. I don't know if he's. I think he's going to follow his social media, and he posted what he was bringing to NARBC.
I was like, he'll be there this weekend.
He's
He's
posted
got
quite
albino
a
Mexican
bit.
black kings. I didn't
in
even
the
know that
last
was a
week.
thing.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Albino Mexican black kings. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it's on his
Yeah.
list of stuff to bring. So
Oh
he's got a
my
lot of really
God.
cool stuff. Dwarf berms, and obviously he's well known for the impin stuff. And
Oh,
he's got a lot of
I'm-
stuff.
But it's funny. He's well known for the impen stuff, and he has none of that shit.
Not
Nah, he
anymore.
don't have
Well,
any
not
more.
much. Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
everything else. I'm like, dude, your name is attached to these. Yeah, I don't have any really.
I'm obsessed with my glossy snake. She's freaking gorgeous.
Listening to him talk about how he got the snakes, I kind of sort of remember the story he told me because there was a lot going on that weekend at the show. But he was getting as excited telling me how he got the snakes as you were telling me about how you were getting the snake. And I'm
Oh,
like, this,
Yeah.
Next
This is
expo,
perfect. This is
next
perfect for
expo,
them.
he and I will be chatting because
But
I
that's-
need to
Right.
know.
But that's Pinnell. Like, he's got a decent name in the hobby, and he's just a dude, and he'll talk to you forever about snakes if you want to, or anything else. You
or
want to talk
anything else. I was gonna say we have lots of conversations that are not anywhere near reptile related.
about. So, all right. So yeah, check us all out. Check out VivTech products. Use code Gumbo22 to save 15% on your LED UV bulbs. Check out LS Reptile Racks. Get a hold of Robert. Get you a rack cage, signs, any of that stuff. Check out Little Shop of Horrors for your feeder needs, especially if you are in the Central Texas area or San Antonio, South Texas, any of that. Check him out.
Michael, stick around for
If
a
you
minute.
if you want,
Okay.
if anybody needs stickers, shoot me a message. I'll make you stickers. I mean,
Carpetfest to autograph him.
I'll be
Oh my God.
100%. I'll even bring my
Hey,
own
Michael,
marker.
you're not invited back.
Bring my own marker. So, yeah, Michael, hang around. Everybody else, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks. And then next week is not a live
Bye.
show.
It'll
So
be October.
Don't remind
it'll
me.
still be
Oh.
95 degrees.
Gosh.
All right. Good night. Maybe if I can find where the mouse is, people are still watching this and